Hey everybody, I'm Charlotte, the Gulf Coast Granny. You are first, Terry. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing tonight? I had a crazy week this week. Why do I always say that? Is it because I have children? I think so. Um, we're just gonna hang out tonight and goof off and talk about same crap we always talk about. I'm working on a lot of crochet projects. I know some of my audience isn't interested in that, but I am, and so it's my channel. And please just, if you're not interested, just kind of close your eyes a little bit. But I figured before Grumpus got here that I would show off some of my stuff so I don't bore him to tears. So a friend of mine inspired me to create one hat per day for the month of September. So I've made 8 hats so far. I don't know what today's date. I think it's the 7th. Yes, it is the 7th. So I'm actually one day ahead, which is good for me because if I get behind, I'll quit. But here's my first hat, and here's my second hat. Just a plain old little beanie hat. This one's cool. It's got some sparkle in it. You probably can't see it in the thing in the camera, but it's a peachy colored hat. And then this is a brown beanie. I love the yarn. It's got those speckles in it. And this one, I don't know what kind of yarn this is, to be honest with you. It's real fuzzy and it has like little hairs on it. I don't know if you can see those, but it's super, super soft. And I think somebody would just love to wear it. This is an orange pumpkin-y looking hat. And this one's my favorite so far. I love a whole bunch of color, and it's a bucket hat. And this one is my least favorite. And not because it's red, but because it's made out of really thick chenille yarn. And it's kind of stiff, to be honest with you. It's I haven't weaved in my ends yet. But that's what I've got so far. I'm going to end up donating these to the veterans, the homeless veterans shelter. And I don't know how many females there are, but I think a lot of these could be used, for males or females. I've got a lot more that I'm going to make, obviously. Let's see, 20, 23 more. And so I'll throw some manly colors in there eventually. I don't have a lot. And honestly, when shopping for yarn, it's very difficult to find manly colors unless you want to go with the solid color, like black or blue or green or brown or whatever. But those aren't my favorite kinds of yarn. I like yarns that have a little variety to them, a little texture, a little striping, maybe a few flecks here and there. Those are the kind of yarns I really enjoy working with. Hey, Dwayne, how are you this evening? It's good to see you. This little doodad behind me, right there, is a blanket I've been working on for a few weeks. And it's not a blanket yet. But I'm going to be donating this one to a camp down in Florida called Boggy Creek. And it's going to be made up of all of these squares. Each one has got a different variation of these colors in it. And it's only because, oh dear, the yarn itself has, see all that striping there. Believe it or not, that stripes when it comes out when you're working with it. And I finished my shawl, but it's in the other room, so I can't go get it right now. But that's what I'm working on right now. Oh, and I've got a blanket over here I'm working on. And it's a Christmas project. And now I'm not so sure that I actually even want to finish it. Hey, Yankee Kyle. I'm not. Okay, tell me what y'all think. Since y'all are men, you'll be honest with me and you won't try to blow smoke up my behind, right? So this was supposed to be Christmas blanket, but my daughter says it looks like a watermelon. Now, all of these colors came in a color pack together for Christmas. But I'm thinking that that pink does look awfully watermelony, especially with the green and the white. Um, so I'm not sure what I want to do with that yet. Oh, Dwayne said he likes it. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you. Um, every row is a different stitch. It's a very fun blanket to make because I don't get bored with it because every row is a different stitch. So, yeah, I do like it. I do like it. It's just not as Christmassy as I thought it was going to end up. Now, that being said, there's no guarantee that when I'm finished with it, I'm doing great, Kyle. I hope you are too. There's no guarantee that when I'm finished with it, that it won't look more Christmassy because in the ending rows, there's only going to be a minimal amount of pink. It's going to be mostly the green, white, and red. So we'll see when I'm done. I'll show it to you then, and maybe y'all can help me decide if I should. My my intention for that blanket was to. My daughter is the president of the PTO, the parent teacher organization at my grandchildren's school. And every year they have a fall festival where they do silent auctions. And one of that project right there, and there's another project I want to do before October that I want to donate to that so that they can help raise money for the Parent Teacher Association. So they kind of do look like candy cane colors, don't they, Dwayne? I think maybe just it being in a circle is what brings out the watermelon vibe. I could be wrong. But anyhow, that's my plans for the month of September is to get all that done. Plus, I have to make just one baby blanket every month before until December when my new grandbaby comes. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I am expecting a new grandbaby around the 19th or so of December. So it's going to be a Christmas baby. And I was going to show y'all the yarn that I bought for that, but I'll wait till later to do that. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited. It is my oldest son and his girlfriend who they live together. They've known each other their whole lives. And I don't know why they don't get married, but you know what? That ain't none of my business. If that's what they want to do, then carry on. But it's going to be my grandbaby regardless. And I'm super excited. It's the first baby we've had in the family. Oh, I'd say for about 2 years now. Yes, two years. So I think it's going to be an amazing thing. Plus, this one's going to live closer to me than my grandson who lives over in Florida. My son also lives in Florida with his girlfriend, but they live in Pensacola, and it's only 2 hours away from me. My other son who lives in Florida is about 7 hours from me. They do grow up so fast, Dwayne. It's crazy. I mean, my daughter Violet has been missing in action. She's not missing, y'all. That was just an expression. She got this house sitting job with one of Poppy's coworkers. And she has been living at his house now for going on 3 weeks. And she won't be home. Let's see, her last day is the 10th. So I think that's on Tuesday. Y'all, I have missed that youngin' so much, I can't hardly stand it. The first week was like, ooh, this is great. She's not bothering me. She's not, interrupting me when I'm trying to do things. She's not talking too much. Well, now she's been gone an extra 2.5 or a week and a half more than that first week. And she came to visit us today. I was never so happy to see somebody in my whole life. But that being said, maybe this is a great primer for me to kind of, cut some apron strings a little bit. And here is our special guest tonight. Hey there, Grumpus. How are you doing?
Special or spatial?
Yes, here's both.
I just came in from outside, so you
Well, you're fine.
all my working glory.
Well, there you go. I love that. Is that a fire behind you?
That's just something I found real fast.
Oh, I like it.
It looks
I
like
like it.
a oil and water type thing.
Hmm.
So, how's everybody doing? Can you hear me okay?
Can hear you great.
Am I too loud?
Great. Um, I don't think you're too loud.
All right. Y'all
It's
let me
louder
know
than
in
it
chat.
normally. It's louder than it normally is, but
Is it really?
for me, it's good. Now
I
I don't
think
know about the chat. Chat, you want to help him out a little bit, please?
Who's all in here? Dwayne?
We got Dwayne, we've got Terry, we've got Rudy, and we've got hang on, one other guy. Yankee Kyle is here. He said he has just made 1,300 friends on his Yankee train this afternoon. That is so great, Yankee Kyle. I'm very happy for you. I know it's a struggle, believe me. If you're having these goals and you sometimes it feels like you're coming up short all the time, but once you get over that 1,000 mark, it really doesn't matter that much anymore. And I've been doing this for how many years, Grumpus? 4, 5, something like
Something
that.
like that. I just had my 6-year anniversary on the 1st.
Then I had my 5 in July. And now I didn't post for 2 years.
Well, I haven't either. I mean, I've been spinning my wheels for the last 2
Yeah.
years at the same subs.
But I'm still getting about 100 to 150 views a day. For some reason, I'm still getting subscribers, but they're trickling. Like maybe
Right.
2 this week, 5 next week, -2 the next week. It's crazy.
That's about
But
the way
I'm
mine's
fine with
going.
it. It don't matter to me one bit, not one iota. Not at this point. But if you're trying to get to a goal, I congratulate you, Yankee.
Yeah,
Kyle.
set a goal,
Really
and short-term goals are easier to hit.
yes, definitely. How you been, Grumpus?
I've been working my tail off.
You sounds like it. You sound a little out of breath, and
Well, I rushed in here. I looked down. It was
well,
10:08.
you didn't have to rush.
It was 10:08.
Mm.
I told Vicky, I said, Charlotte's coming on another 7 minutes. I can get ready. She said, you going to shower first? Hell, I ain't even going to take my hat off.
Well, here we go. Let me see. Which one am I going to use? See, I saved you so much aggravation.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I went through and showed everybody all my crochet projects before you got here.
I don't mind seeing your
Because
stuff.
I thought that you would get bored.
I don't mind seeing your stuff at all.
There. Here, I got a hat on too now. So
There you go.
go.
I bet you ain't got the hat. I bet you don't have the hat hair I've got.
I might. Look at this curly mess. I don't know where it's coming from. I guess it's old age has changed my hair, and here we are, But I'm making hats. See, I've got a whole stack of them right here. I won't go through all of them, but
Wow.
I've got 8 so far. And a friend of mine inspired me to make a hat a day for the month of September and donate it somewhere. So I'm going to donate it to the veterans home.
Okay.
And but I'm keeping this one. I really like this one.
That's pretty cool.
The yarn that I used, a friend of mine gave me, and it is high-end yarn. It's high-end. I can't.
Does it feel different when you're using it?
Yes, and depending on how you like for your crochet to look, there's a lot of stitch definition. Like this one here, you can't hardly see the stitches at all. But on this one, if it wasn't so dark in here, you'd be able to see them. And like this one, I like this kind of yarn. This is super cheap yarn, believe it or not. But look at that stitch definition there. I got this in a mystery box, and they sent me 6 big balls of this I think it has 270 yards per ball, and it was only $10 for 6 balls. Now, for those of you who don't buy yarn, that is a great deal, because one ball of yarn will normally cost anywhere between low end, I would say $3.99. High end, it could go up as high as $25.99.
Ouch.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I wanted to make the grandbaby a really special blanket out of some silk wool yarn with it's a blend of superwash merino and mulberry silk. And I decided that that was ridiculous. It was going to cost me $150 just to buy the yarn. And I said, I don't think there's a blanket on the planet worth $150.
You sound like Vicky. She made the granddaughter almost an $800 sundress.
Oh my goodness gracious alive.
I bought her a sewing machine. I bought her the cabinet to go in it. I bought her all the patterns.
Yeah.
And she ended up making one dress.
Oh my gosh. Hey, yes, I can barbecue. I'm sorry, I forgot the
Simon.
first name. Simon. Of course. I'm so sorry.
Well, let me show you what I've been doing all day.
Well, let me see.
Shoot.
Do I have to do anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, not a thing. I'm just going to hold this up to the...
I can't tell what you've been cleaning out your garage.
No, that's my new cover over my deck I've been working on.
I'm so sorry, Grump. I see now.
It's just trashed out like the garage. I'm still working on it.
Grumpus, that looks really, really nice.
So I got the lights hung today. I got the fan hung up last weekend.
Yeah. Oh my, that looks nice. Now, how was your weather today? Was it a lot better than last?
Oh, it was so nice today.
Was it good?
It's supposed to get to 68 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I told the wife I may sleep outside.
Oh, I would love to. Except for the fact that there's stray cats out there that'll probably use me for their litter box. Look, I planted my garden a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah?
And I planted a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see. I got my little, it's not for me. It's for Murphy to do his Eagle Scout stuff. And I'm helping him do a bunch of it. So we planted, me and my son, kale, cucumbers, zucchini squash, mustard greens, carota carrots, romaine lettuce, collard greens, bunching onions, and a vegetable called kohlrabi. And it's a weird looking alien vegetable.
Yeah, I know what the kohlrabi is.
Yeah.
I've never eaten any, but
it's really good.
Does it taste like cabbage?
Kind of cross between cabbage and broccoli.
Okay.
It's delicious. It really is. So we planted that. Well, guess what? Excuse me. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks, and the only things that came up was I planted 2 different types of zucchini. Those came up. My kohlrabi came up. I have a 6-foot deep, 12-inch deep swimming pool full of mustard greens. I'm going to be having greens out my ears. Nothing else came up. Not even my cucumbers. I did plant cucumbers too. They didn't come up. So I don't know if I got a hold of a really old seed that was just not, ready to germinate anymore, or if that's the only thing I can think of, really. So, and in these poor seeds' defense, I was using seeds that there's no telling how long I've had them. I mean, I just stuff them all in a box, and then when I'm ready to plant them, I pull them out, and there were.
They still should be viable.
Well, they should, and let's see what happens. I'll just give them some more time. It is fall now. I mean, almost. We're getting shorter days. We're getting less intense sunlight. So it may be just taking them longer to get motivated, which is what I'm hoping. And I know with the bunching onions, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 weeks for them to start coming up. They are very slow. Hey, Colin, how are you this evening?
Well, I had an exciting week.
Tell me, tell me.
The seed fairy showed up.
Well, looky
You can't
there.
you can't see it.
All it looks
Too
like is a bunch of smoke.
too much
Somebody
green.
Sent,
Hang on.
somebody sent you some smoke seeds?
Let me try a different camera. Here we go. Let's see what this looks like.
Oh, that's better. That's better. Oh, that's your freebie, huh?
I got some lettuce.
Okay.
I got some squash.
Awesome.
Got some melon.
Awesome.
Moonflower.
Oh, yeah.
And some long beans. So we've been the last few days.
Yeah.
We've been trying to decide what I need to do with my seeds.
Well, you said you wanted
These are very much appreciated.
You are quite welcome. And they're for your trellis in case you don't remember our conversation.
I do.
Okay.
I think I might put them beans on there.
That would be nice. And you
Maybe-
know what? I don't know what the days to maturity are. Let me see.
Might put the beans on one side and put the squash on the other one. Just let them grow together.
Okay. Well, I thought you might want to put the moonflowers up there.
Well, I've got another trellis I could put that on.
Oh, okay. The moonflowers are actually, I don't know if you read the package or not, but they're part of the morning glory family.
Yeah, they look like it on the picture.
Yeah. Let's see. Red yard long bean seeds. Let's see. What's the days to maturity on those?
But anyway, it was a nice surprise, and I sure appreciate it.
Well, you are quite welcome. And I'm glad they got there. I was a little concerned.
They got here, I think, Wednesday, I think.
Oh, okay. Good.
Wednesday or Thursday, I can't remember.
Let me see something. They should germinate in 7 to 10 days. And, oh, for the love of Pete. You harvest them when they're between 15 and 20 inches long. And it doesn't say days to maturity. Hang on. What's the name on those?
What do you mean the name? The variety?
Yeah.
It says Chinese red noodle.
That's what I thought. Okay, Chinese red.
Let's see.
Days to maturity.
It doesn't say.
You might want to save those till next spring.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you only got 90 days. I mean, they take 90 days. I didn't realize that when I sent them. Now, that squash will take about 45, 50.
Do you think I should save those till spring?
When's your first frost date?
Hell, I don't know.
What zone are you in? Do you know?
9.
Oh, yeah. Your probably first frost date is somewhere between the last day of November and the first week of December. Does that sound about right?
Probably.
So
maybe later than that.
Maybe even later, yeah. Well, I can guarantee at my house, because I'm zone 9 too, but I know there's microclimates everywhere. And I think Houston gets hotter than South Mississippi. And, but I think here, I can guarantee at least one freeze, even if it's only for an hour in the middle of the night, one freeze by December 7th.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it freezes.
Well, then you might have plenty of time for any of that.
I mean, the last 2 years we've had the hard freezes.
Mm-hmm. But they've been in like what, February?
That's abnormal. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been here since '78, and I had never seen it freeze like that.
Right. And y'all, I'm looking down at my work here. I'm making another hat. That's going to be number 9 for the 8th. And if I'm not paying attention to the chat, somebody smacked me upside the head. We had an exciting week here too.
Yeah.
I woke up Thursday morning. Nobody can see you, Grumpus. Um, Wesley woke me up and said, "Hey, I'm about to leave for work. I just want you to know Murphy's got another
Got another what?
migraine headache." So he's been on medication for it now for about 2 years. We were doing great until school started. And when school started, he started getting a migraine a week and sometimes two. And I called his doctor 2 weeks ago and I said, "This is what's going on. What do we do?" Okay. So what they did was they increased the dosage of his preventative medication at night. So here we were a week later after they increased the dosage, and he got this headache Thursday morning. And so I asked Poppy when he told me that the boy had a headache. I said, "Did you give him his medicine?" And he said, "Yes." I gave him the nausea medicine and the prevented, the rescue medication. That's what they call it, rescue. And I said, "Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on him." Well, I heard the front door close, and then I was hearing something else that was kind of a weird sound that I have not heard in a long time. It took about 15 seconds for it to dawn on me that it was crying. I run to the bathroom because he's the only one home. Violet's living somewhere else right now for the next 4 days. And I said, "Dear God, what's wrong?" Because, this boy's almost 16. He doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And he was holding his head, and he said, "It's just my head. It's my head." He said over and over. And I ran to the front door hoping to catch Poppy before he left. And he was walking towards his truck. I said, "Get back in the house. He's going to the emergency room." I said, "What time did you give him the medicine?" He said, "About 6 o'clock. It was already almost 6:45. And I said, nope, that's not good. Come on." So we get him out into the car, get him to the emergency room. They hooked him up with an IV of something. And within 45 minutes, he was ready to leave.
What do you think it was?
We called his doctor back and told him that we had made a visit to the emergency. Now, mind you, this is the first time since he was 7 years old and started getting these things that we've ever taken him to the emergency room. Because, usually they go away on their own. This one did not. And I don't know what the difference is. I really don't. I talked to his doctor. Doctor says, "Well, sometimes they do this and sometimes they don't." I said, "Well, I hope it never happens again," because that was scary.
Wow.
It scared the living daylights out of me when I saw him laying in the bathroom floor just sobbing. So there was that. And then, now I don't even remember what else happened this week. Oh, well, apparently my dad's porch pig.
So it just showed up out of nowhere?
If I'm lying, I'm dying. Dad lives on this 24 acres.
Uh-huh.
One morning he wakes up and he hears this, and there's a pig in his yard. He calls me up. He says, "Charlotte, you ain't gonna believe this. There's a pig in the yard." I said, "A stray pig? What? Hell, I don't understand." Right? He says, "Yeah, I don't know where he come from, but he's here and I'm feeding him some corn." Well,
Fatten him up.
a couple days later, he calls me up. He done bought hog feed, corn treats.
That pig done hit the lottery.
He sure did. So every day he tells me something different about this pig. Well, a couple weeks, maybe a week or so ago, he called me up. He says, "Yeah, the pig's starting to follow me around on the cart." Because he's got a golf cart that he goes around watering everything with. He says, "Yeah, he keeps following me, and I'm afraid I'm going to run over him." I said, "Well, Dad, he's big enough, you'd probably see him."
I'm surprised he's not sitting on a seat next to him.
He's trying to. Just the other day, he sent me a picture of the pig trying to get up in the cart with him.
Well, it's got to be somebody's pet that got loose.
It's a Hampshire pig with a tag in its ear. I think it was meant for bacon.
Yeah, probably so.
And then he said, he just called me yesterday and told me that the pig had taken a dip in the pond. So I said, Dad, you need to send me all these pictures. I'm going to make that pig famous. But yeah, I just don't understand how a stray pig shows up at somebody's house.
I mean, and to be that tame?
Yeah, yeah. And not only that, I told him, I said, Dad, what you going to do if the owner sees it and drives up there and says, that's my pig? He says, well, the way I figure it, I done got about $100 worth of feed in it.
Yeah,
He says, I'll tell him, give me $100, or how much do you want for the pig?
Well, you think might have been somebody's 4-H pig or something like that?
That's kind
to
of
be that tame?
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, because most pigs are not just going to, they're just not going to walk up in some stranger's yard and take up residence, you know?
Yeah.
And so when he called me today and sent me that picture of the porch pig, was it today or yesterday? I can't remember. But he told me, he says, well, I'm having to park the golf cart in front of the steps to the porch. I said, why? He says, well, the pig wants to lay on the porch now. So he's got to go tomorrow or today or tomorrow and get some material to make a gate to keep the pig off the porch. Now, mind you, he's got 2 porches. He's got one on the front porch, and then he's got a back porch that goes all the way across the back of the house, and it's about 12 feet deep.
Oh, nice.
So there'll be plenty of places for that pig to go on that porch.
Yeah, yeah.
But he don't want him on the front porch for whatever reason. Probably because he don't want the owner to see it from the road.
And that's something.
But that beats all I've ever seen. And every time I tell somebody there was a stray pig, they say, what? Yeah, Colin, a lot of people have pigs as pets. But I think they intentionally go out and find them, you know?
I try my best not to fall in love with something I intend to eat.
Ain't that the truth? Now, you know, my dad's not going to let nobody bother that pig. There ain't no way on the planet.
Sound like he got him a new buddy.
That's what I think, too. I don't know how long pigs live, but
I don't know if everyone's... I don't know if the pig's ever made it to a life expectancy.
Past about 10 months. Oh, gosh. Terry said he had a pig that would chase pickups down the road. My dad's pig wants to chase his truck every time it pulls out the driveway. He said he's afraid to death that it's going to go out on the road and get run over. But it is what it is. As long as my dad's around, that pig is right there next to him.
It's amazing.
It really is. And I'll tell you what I think is kind of amazing is that he is the way he's like the animal whisperer. They all just flock to him. I've never been like that. Animals, I mean, they like me, even when I don't like them. But I don't know. I never wanted that many. I love my cats.
Yeah.
And I love Virgil.
I mean, I've got a soft spot for the animals, but I don't want a whole bunch of them around.
Right.
I get attached to them too quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but then he learned some bad news yesterday. One of his old time. Remember I told you he planted about 50 crepe myrtles around his yard? Well, one of his friends had given him all those crepe myrtles. And he found out that gentleman passed away yesterday morning. And, and he was very practical about the whole thing and said, it was time.
Yeah.
But I know it's going to make him a little more lonely than he was the day before,
Well, sometimes it's a little depressing to see people your own age start dropping off.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it reminds you daily of your own mortality, and that's
it absolutely does.
That's not scary, but not a pleasant thought.
Nah. So I haven't asked you in a while. Have you had any blooms on your water lily?
They're still up, but they're starting to turn a little bit brown and yellow.
But you've not got any buds or anything
Well,
like
yeah,
that?
I've had some. It's just that lately I haven't been up early enough to catch them.
Oh, I got you. I
You,
got
s-
you.
yeah. Usually I'm out there at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning piddling around and I'll see them. But by the time by the time it's 9 o'clock, they're gone.
Yeah, yeah. That's the way mine were. The Hardys, they would open up around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and then by the time I got off work at 5 and got home, they'd already closed up again.
Right, right. And
So I
that's
started getting the last ones that probably 4 or 5 that I got night bloomers,
oh, okay.
because the
I
night
would like you to
bloomers
get me
open
some of
up
them.
around 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening,
Mhm.
and they don't close up till around 9 or 10 the next morning.
Oh, okay.
So you got a chance to enjoy them in the evening
While
and
you're
still
at
see them
home.
in the morning.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, now I got to go find me some of them. There's something
And
else I wanted to.
those are the tropicals. So the flower is on a stem above the water. It
Okay,
doesn't. Yours is a hardy. It's got the flower floats right on the water,
floats
right?
right on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah, yeah.
For the most
Sometimes
part, yeah.
it's a little taller, but not much.
Yeah, with the hardies, or I'm sorry, the tropicals, they'll run a stem, 3-4 inches above the surface.
Oh, okay.
And some of the tropicals actually have a fragrance to them.
No kidding.
That's what they say. I've never had one yet that smelled like anything but aphids.
Aphids and pond water.
Yeah.
Speaking of ponds, I had such a fun experience this week.
Okay.
Violet took me out to lunch and we went to the little Chinese restaurant down the street. It was delicious. But this is the same restaurant that has these 100-gallon koi tanks in the lobby, the waiting area.
Okay.
And I was just paying attention to the koi, and enjoying them. And they weren't beautiful koi, but they were pretty enough. And I was looking up at his filter system, and I thought, well, that's interesting. He's got, instead of just 2 buckets, like for a bog, you got your bog bucket and your pond bucket, right?
Yeah.
And I'm calling it bucket for lack of a better word, okay? He has 3. He puts his,
Are they tiered? Are they stacked?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he puts, what's it called? The spongy type materials, the
Probably got
filtery type
bio
materials.
balls and that kind of stuff.
He puts that in the first one, and then he puts rocks in the second one. And then the water runs through. Even sometimes, some of them weren't stacked. Some of them were lined up like this, and
Uh-huh.
he had plants in the one that had the rocks in it,
Yeah.
to filter
Yeah.
more. I said that, and I'm sitting there studying it, wondering, I think I could do that.
I mean, once you wrap your head around the principle
Mm-hmm.
and the actual science that's what's happening,
Right.
people get really, really creative on different ways of doing the same thing. I mean, they'll stair step pots.
Yeah.
I've seen them run like clay pots almost in a spiral, and maybe have 20 good size, like an azalea pot or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just maybe they weld up something
And
with
the
rings.
water just filters down that whole
It just
spiral,
fills the
huh?
one and the one and the one and the one. It just goes all the way around.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Terry, that's a new YouTube thing. I'm sorry if it's aggravating, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it. In fact, I don't even know what I can do about it. But that's been happening to me every time I click on a live stream for the past,
Yeah.
about the past
Same
week.
way with me.
And like I said, I'm sorry. But
Some of the channels I'm watching, there's more commercials than there are actual content.
Yeah, well, now we can control that to some degree. But as far as live streams go, I don't know what I can do about that.
But But yeah, the filters are really interesting in different ways. People that's why I like to do the pond tours.
Yeah.
I mean, rich people, poor people, people in the middle. You can't buy clear water.
Right.
You've got to go through the process.
You got to go through the process.
And
That's
it's interesting to see how different people are solving the same problem.
Well, let me tell you what happened next. So we're discussing the koi and the filters, and because he comes up and he started chuckling, he says, "You trying to steal my filter, huh?" And I said, "No, I don't want to steal them. I'm just getting ideas."
Well, just want to steal the idea.
Yeah. He says, "You like fish?" I said, "I love them." I said, "I have a small pond in my backyard, and I've got good water right now." I said, "But I really like this idea. You've got a multiple pots." Well, he says, "Hang on a minute. I'll be right back." So he goes somewhere in the back. He comes out. He says, "Come here." So me and my daughter walk out the back door with him. Grumpus, he's got a trellis all the way across. It's probably 10 feet deep and 30 feet long.
Yeah.
Growing full of squash. Full.
Wow.
Just full. So we walk and I'm looking at this trellis and it's all hanging down and it's beautiful and everything. And I'm commenting about how wonderful it is. And he takes me to this covered area. And you have to walk up some steps to get to it. And it's kind of like a gazebo, but in a makeshift sort of way.
Yeah.
He has 2 ponds underneath this gazebo. And now, mind you, they're built ponds.
Yeah.
With over 300 koi fish in them.
Wow.
2 different systems, one on either side. And I just, on the right side were the little baby koi about this long. And on the left side, he had some about this long. So they were all fairly young.
Yeah.
As far as koi go.
Does he sell them?
I have no idea, but
I'm why he has them.
I promise you this, I'm going to go talk him out of a few of them as soon as I get Poppy build me that pond I want. Yes, sir, Bob.
Well, mine are growing like weeds.
Good.
And I told you I bought the 5.
Yes.
I got 3 that look halfway decent.
Good.
I got 2 of them I need to find a home for.
Yeah. It just ain't quite up to par, huh?
Well, I have had so many fish that I have bought within the first week. You find them out in the yard, find them up.
Committing suicide.
They just jump and
they jump,
and so
and they
this
can't
time
make it into the pond. Yeah.
This time I told Vicky, I said, well, I want 3, but I'm gonna buy a couple extra. One to die, 1 to fly, and maybe 3 to keep.
To keep, right.
I'll be darned if all of them didn't live.
I was just about to say, so all of them lived, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
but they're growing pretty fast.
How big do you think your biggest one is right now?
We'll see. When I bought them, they were probably 3 inches. And they're probably, I got one out there that's probably almost 8 inches by now.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
The smallest ones are probably around 5.
Okay.
5 or 6.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
But I had all of them in the upper pond, and one of them escaped. So he ended up in the lower pond, and I couldn't catch him, so he just grew there. And he grew a lot faster than the other 4.
Because it's a bigger pond, you think?
I probably because he ate more. There was no competition for the food.
Right. Well, now, isn't that where the turtle lives?
Yeah, turtle hasn't bothered any of them.
No kidding.
Everything I've read, everybody I've talked to said you can't have turtle with koi. They'll nip at them. And that may be the case. But I got this turtle when it was so small. It was about the size of a quarter.
Yeah.
And I threw it out there in the pond. I didn't see it for 3 years. I thought the birds had got it. And then one day it showed up, and I thought, well, shoot, there it is right there.
Yes.
And it was probably 3 to 4 inches at that time.
No kidding.
So growing up with the fish, that's just all he knows.
That's right.
It's not like grabbing one out of the wild that
and he
forages for its own food,
right.
and all of a sudden you're throwing it in a buffet line.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I mean, that turtle is probably. I can't pick it up with one hand. I can't grip it. I can't get my hand around it enough. So
He's that big.
it's probably, oh gosh, from the end to end on the shell is probably 10 inches, maybe 11
Wow.
inches.
Wow. I treat a few Chinese families' houses. They have big
Schools of koi fish.
schools of koi fish. Okay. They also run restaurants. I think they are feeding them to the people. Well, if they are, it's some good stuff, okay?
Well, I mean, it's a carp family. They're pretty bony, from
Yes,
what I
they are
understand.
bony. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they eat them in China. Some of
Oh,
these
do
other
they?
Oriental places. What they did, they originally started turning them loose in rice paddies, rice
Yes.
fields, because
Yes.
they'd eat mosquitoes and stuff like that.
Right.
And then when times got hard, they would use them as a food source.
But shoot, I would too if I was hungry enough.
But I mean, I know what mine's eating. I wouldn't be afraid to eat one. But I've
Yeah, I
heard they're
wouldn't
pretty
either.
bony.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just like my goldfish. It ain't gonna make much of a meal, but by goodness, if I get hard up, I'm gonna go out there and cook him up. We're gonna have dinner.
Is he getting pretty good size?
Yeah, he's probably
I got
now
one
mind
about
you,
the size of a tennis ball.
he's a not quite that big. Uh, but as far as he's longer than my hand.
Yeah.
He's a good size. He's probably that long, and getting big around, and yeah, he's a good looking fish.
Yeah, I
I'm
got
really
lucky. Mine, the one I've got left is it's an Aranda. So it's got
okay.
the bright red
Mhm.
cap,
Yeah.
and just as platinum as could be. It's a good looking fish.
Oh, I bet he's beautiful. Does he have a red cap?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I bet
Because he's
he's
been
gorgeous.
outside. Now, if you put him inside, that'd turn orange.
Right, right.
Put him outside, I mean, it's just really, really red.
It's amazing how deep red orange that my fish is.
Yeah, and just a
He's
regular
beauty.
goldfish.
He's a beauty.
Put them outside. They really, really color up.
He is I want to say he's a bubble eye butterfly tail. Telescope eye butterfly tail.
Yeah, I think that's what you said you had.
Yeah.
Was a telescope eye. Yeah.
I want to get some Ryukins, but they tend to be a little.
They're
not
hard to
as
find
friendly.
too.
Do what?
They're hard to find too.
They are hard to find. But now I wouldn't mind having some Mirandas in there with him. I think they would get along real good. I need to get some more goldfish because I know he's not lonely. He's enjoying that tank all to himself, but I would really like to have more to look at. So there's that.
Well, I mean, I'll go to the water gardens nurseries,
Mm-hmm.
and they've usually got them for sale. You can pick up the little tiny fantails for usually $3-4.
Yeah. He said he went to my fish today and had a 3-day sell by day. At checkout, I asked the girl to take it off my bill. It was stinking. It was my favorite. I like cod too, but
It shouldn't have been stinking, that's
it
for
shouldn't
sure.
have been stinking. That yeah. Ooh. And I love me some halibut, but I don't have halibut money
I hear that.
most of the time anyway.
I don't even have cod money.
Oh, cod's pretty easy to find.
It's easy to
Here.
find, but it ain't cheap.
No, none of the fish are cheap. I mean, catfish ain't even cheap anymore.
No, that's true.
Who is trying to? I'm getting.
Lucy Warren.
Hey there, Lucy. How are you? I remember you from Sheena's Streams.
The name sounds familiar.
Lucy's been in here before.
I thought so.
Mm-hmm. So, what else happened this week? There was a lot that happened. Poor Violet. She's ready to come home. She's been house sitting for over
She's still house sitting?
2 weeks. Yeah. And she is just over it now. But she asked me. She came and visited us today a little bit. And I told everybody before you got here, I ain't never been so happy to see somebody in my whole life. And I told her, I said, this is too long. I said, from now on, you don't do these 2 and 3 week gigs. You 1 week at a time is all you get. She looked at me. She goes, Mom, what are you going to do when I move out? I said, well, we'll probably follow you.
We'll be there every day.
Yeah, eating her food, leaving the refrigerator door open, throwing towels everywhere, wet ones.
Jumping on the bed, playing the
Jumping
radio
on the
loud.
couch. Yeah. Eat up all of her snacks before she gets home from work. No, I do miss her something fierce though. Of course, now 3 days after she gets home, I'll be thinking, "Good God, can she just leave again?" But it never ends. It's always a give and take kind of thing.
So is she? She's going to college, so she's still living at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll probably live at home until she graduates, which is the same year Murphy graduates high school. So, almost 2.5 years to go.
So, what's your take on Murphy? You think he'll leave the nest pretty soon, or you think he's in a comfortable spot?
Can I answer that in a couple of years?
With boys, it can go either way.
Yeah.
Now, see, I couldn't get out of the house fast enough.
Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I do think he's super interested in that auto mechanics program at the Votech school.
Well, that'd be great if he could do that.
Yeah, it would. It's not really what I ever wanted for him, but if that's what he wants, then it ain't none of my business, right?
That's what makes him happy, and it pays the bills. I'm sure my mama would have loved to have a lawyer or a doctor in the family.
Right. Well, I don't need that. I just, again, we talked about this before about if you're smart enough, it makes more sense to make a living with your brain instead of your back.
Well, yeah.
And he is smart enough, but he also is not the kind of person who enjoys being cooped up. He likes to be moving all the time, and auto mechanics might just be right up his alley. And if he is smart and saves his money and does some, learns all he can learn and gets certified in all these things,
That's right, Simon. Diesel mechanics do make good
Yes,
coin.
yes, they do. Yes. But one of these days he might be working for Murphy's auto shop instead of somebody else's.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, my neighbor, the neighbor that just moved, they moved to Beaumont. He's a mechanic. He's a Honda mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
And he has dealerships chasing him.
Really?
I mean, when he left here, he already had a job waiting for him in Beaumont.
Oh, wow.
And, that'd been going on for a month or so. And the guy said, well, whenever you make it over here, there's an opening here for you. He said, we'll make a spot for you.
My dad's told me the other day, he said, Charlotte, as long as he is a good mechanic, he don't screw people over, and he, offers a fair service at a fair price. Yeah. That's all you really need. He said, because there's so many other ones out there that take advantage and, do all the things that everybody's scared of mechanics because of that. So, yeah.
My neighbor, I guess the mechanics and the dealers, it's kind of like a hair salon. You've got your spot in your customers, and he has people coming in specifically for him to do the work. And he says even when it gets slow, he'll be buried, and these other guys be twiddling their thumbs because he treats his customers right. He time frames. If he makes a promise, he gets it done.
Right.
Even if it means staying over, and he don't get overtime or anything like that.
Right.
But he's been doing that for as long as I've known him.
Huh. Well, it could be a good thing. He'll either love it or he'll figure out that that is something he doesn't want to do for the rest of his life.
Well, I mean, I
One or
I
the
did
other.
it for a few years, more
Did
years
you?
than I wanted. But you come home. I'm a short guy, so leaning over
Right.
fenders all day long, stuff like that. I'd come home, my rib cage would just be bruised, my sternum would be hurting
Black.
and hurting, because
Oh yeah.
I'd
Oh.
have to I'd
Well,
have to
see, he's a
climb up.
short guy too.
I'd have to climb up and almost lay on the fender. I couldn't just bend over. I'd have to lay on it
Right.
to be able to reach stuff. And
Oh,
I just got tired. I just got tired of the grease and the
sure, yeah.
busted knuckles all the time. And
Well, that's one thing I told him. I said, look here, you decide to be a mechanic, there is not a woman on the planet that wants to hang out with a man with greasy fingers and fingernails.
yeah,
You are going to have to learn to either keep your fingers and your hands super clean or wear some gloves.
well, I mean, yeah, you can
I
wear
said,
gloves.
because,
But there's stuff you can clean your hands up if you want to. I always had clean
yeah,
hands. In fact, they used
I
to rag
can't.
on me, say, "How can you be a mechanic? Look at your hands; they're not even dirty." I said, "Well,
Right. Well, Poppy doesn't have
I took 10 minutes
dirty
and
hands.
scrubbed up before I went home."
Right. And I used to buy him some kind of hand moisturizers to put on his hands at night. I forget
Yeah,
the name of it, but it would keep them from being so rough and sandy,
yeah. Well,
because when he touched me,
they'll crack.
yeah,
They'll dry out and
exactly.
crack if you don't keep them,
Hmm.
take care of them.
So, but he does not, well, he doesn't mechanic now as much as he used to. He was an actual engine mechanic before he got this job.
Right. I
And
mean,
now
I know
he's,
enough to take care of my own stuff,
right, right.
which I don't even do that anymore. But what I know if somebody's pulling wool over my eyes or not.
That's right. Yep.
Somebody says they done the job. I know enough to raise the hood, and I can tell if they've done any work or not.
Right, right. So, well, yeah, and that's a good thing too, to be able to know what's been done and what's not been
But
done.
learning that manual dexterity and stuff like that carries on all kinds of different fields.
Oh, okay.
I mean, turning wrenches and getting your hands down and hard to get at spots and things like that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a skill, hand-eye coordination, feel. A
Yes.
lot of times you can't see what you're doing. You just have to feel
You
it.
just got to feel for
You
it.
can,
Yeah.
you can carry that into carpentry, plumbing, all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of different trades.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope. I don't know.
Do you see Tom jumped in here?
No, where is he?
He's
Tom, if you're still here, raise your hand. Oh, there he is. This is why I went into the restaurant business. Plenty to drink and lots of food. Well, and one of the things I told him, I said, if you're a mechanic, you're going to be out in the heat all day. I said, why don't you get a job where you can be in the air conditioning all day? Because we live in the South and it's too hot out there.
just
Or if you
and you
move
have to
up
take
north, you're going to be out there freezing to death all day.
you have to take into consideration. It may be 92 degrees outside, but that car just came in off the freeway.
That's right. And not only that, but
And
even
there ain't nothing worse than busting your knuckles with a wrench slipping when it's cold.
Woo!
When it's cold, oh man,
Oh, it's like ice cracking in the
it hurts
yeah,
so bad.
I know. Better belts. We need better plumbers. We need better belts. Colin, that's funny. I don't think I want him to be a plumber. I mean, if he really wanted to do it, I'd probably tell him, yeah, go on ahead, son.
Well,
But
I enjoy doing plumbing work,
hmm
but there's too much digging involved.
yeah,
Just like for years I thought I wanted to be an electrician
yeah,
till I got to visiting new homes being built and talking to the electricians, and they'll go home with their backs out and everything, just pulling wires, and
yeah,
I didn't want to wire things. I didn't want to pull all them wires and crawl around in attics and trying to.
right. 1,000-degree attic.
So all them trades, they've got their drawbacks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Simon said digging means more money.
That's true if I'm digging.
If I'm digging, I promise you it means more money because I don't dig nothing. I might dig through the cabinet and find me some more food. But we do, you're right, Tom. We do need more tradesmen out there. And I think schools, what's been a few decades ago, maybe 2 or 3 decades ago, they quit having vocational programs in
Yeah.
schools because of budget cuts or what have you. And now they're bringing them back because there's such a large demand for it. My son, who's a window glazer over in Florida, he said, Mom, I'm the youngest guy by decades.
Yeah,
in my
that's probably
shop.
true.
He said, the youngest guy next to me's in his 50s. And I said, well, 50's not old. He said, that's not what I mean.
Yep. Well, I mean, nobody wants to work.
Right.
Everybody,
Well, and
everybody
young
thinks
people-
everybody thinks they're going to get rich being in sports or
Yeah.
content creating.
Or service jobs or computer information technology jobs, And that's been the focus. Engineering, technology, all that stuff has been the focus to all of these kids for decades now. And so we don't have any young plumbers and young linesmen.
Well, even engineers. Now, my wife works at an engineering firm, and engineers are a dime a dozen. I mean, they get out of school and can't find a job.
Can't find a job, right?
And then the ones they can find they don't pay anything.
Right. Well, hopefully, you know what's so funny is I don't have any doubt in my mind that Violet will graduate college and find herself a decent job. Will it be a great job? Who knows? But I know she'll get a job where she can take care of herself. For him, I worry about him because I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I told my dad once I was bored. I dug a hole for 3 days and 3 days to fill it back up. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. He didn't want you bored a bit, did he?
Found him something to do.
Well, my kids will tell me they're bored every now and then, and I'll say, well, come here. I got some dishes, got some laundry. I got baseboards need to be cleaned.
Them words never come out of my lips when I was growing up.
I will fix boredom. I will fix boredom. But I think I'm going to go through my seed bucket tomorrow and try to find some more vegetables that can tolerate some cool weather and just throw them out there. My dog took my collard green. Okay, I buy my seeds from the farm store. And what they do is you can get them in 1/4 pound, 1/2 pound, or 1 pound. You can get 1/8 of a pound too if you really want it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that is in seeds, but what they do is they pour them in these little paper sacks like you used to get penny candy in.
Yeah.
And then they'll roll it up and tape it and label it. Well, I had some collard green seeds. I have a few sets of collard green seeds, but I took one outside and I set it on this table that Wesley made for me years ago out of F-16 gun barrels or something. And I set it out there. I had a whole pile of them out there that I was about to plant in the garden. Well, my dog was outside, and I didn't think the dog would be interested in planting anything. But he was, apparently, and he grabbed my collard green seeds and took off with it like it was a ball or something. I have collard green sprouts coming up all over my yard. He tore that bag to shreds, and they just went everywhere. So, I guess I told Wesley, I said, you can't mow the yard until I figure out where the collard greens are coming up. Then way I can go out there and rescue them and stick them in the garden,
Yeah.
Hey, Marcel, it's good to see you, my dear. Sorry to hear about your husband's near amputation. I love some collard greens too, Colin. You don't get Facebook, do you, Grumpus?
No, I don't do the Facebook. I do
I'll
phone
let
book.
Marcel tell the story.
Okay.
I'm not gonna steal her thunder. They had a little mishap with her husband today or yesterday. But anyhow, yeah, I don't know why he decided he needed my collard green seeds, but I'm a little miffed at him, and I'm just going to go through all my seeds and plant whatever I think will grow between now and March.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Especially if you've got some seeds that you don't know if is valid or not.
Right.
Still good.
Just throw
What
them
do you
out
got
there.
to lose? Throw them out there.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, those mustard greens, this is no lie. I wish it was, but it's not. I got the soil ready, and me and my son went out there, and he's like, well, how do we plant them? They're so tiny. I said, watch this. And I just took some in my hand and sprinkled them all over. We did that with the whole 1/4 pound bag.
Wow.
And they're all in that pool. And they came up within 3 days. I had little sprouts coming up.
Wow.
3 days. So, but now they're little plants this big, and I'm tickled to death. That's probably my favorite thing to grow in the fall is mustard greens. Now,
How long does it take those?
myself-
How long does it take those to come up where you can start picking them?
40 days maybe.
Oh, okay, pretty quick.
Yeah, they're quick. They're real quick. They're as quick as the squash. Yeah. I ordered myself a Arctic Fantasy nectarine tree yesterday. And I'm going to plant it when it gets here. It'll be here in December. It's a pre-order kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And it should be here in December, but I'm so excited I can't stand it.
Nice.
And I think next week I'm going to order myself another persimmon tree. And I'm just going to keep ordering stuff until they ship it.
I would like to. I've been thinking about getting a Meyer lemon.
That's what I want to. But now,
I've tried for years to do lime.
right?
For some reason, I just can't get them to produce.
Simon was saying, was it Simon that said his dog
Got into
took off
cilantro?
with his cilantro seeds? Now I wouldn't mind having cilantro come up through my yard. That would be heaven for me. I mean, just to smell it every time you walk by it, I love it. But see, that is something I can buy and grow. What people don't understand about the South is you can't grow cilantro, even though it's a Latin American spicy, spice
Yeah.
or herb for foods. It doesn't like the hot weather. So as soon as it gets above, like sometimes even 65 degrees,
Yeah, it'll bolt in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I bet it does smell great. Gosh, oh man, I would love that.
Now I had years ago. I had basil and rosemary in one bed, and my basset hound figured out that was a nice, cool place to lay down because it was at the side of the house, so it didn't get full sun all day long.
Sure, yeah.
That dog would come walking in, he'd smell like he'd smell good enough to eat.
Yeah, you had him marinating all day.
You been in my flower bed, and he kind of look up at you like that, like
Maybe.
no.
Maybe. Oregano is good to grow. It is good to grow. And I use a lot of that. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get me some cilantro seeds tomorrow because I can make a whole bed full of that. Okay, so yeah, I know it's playing. Marcel, I don't know how to make it stop.
What's playing?
The ad's playing for her too.
Well, I wonder why, because I haven't seen an ad.
You haven't seen one yet?
I mean, I've got, let's see, where we at? On one of my monitors, I've got the stream running. I haven't seen an ad yet.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
That's interesting. Simon said when he graduated, he was an architectural draftsman, and there were no jobs when he came out of school.
Now, I'll tell you what's hot right now.
What's that?
Is CNC programmers.
Programmable logic controls. That's what it is. Yep. It's been big for a long time, Grumpus. And they make bank. I've
got a nephew that lucked into a job doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he got the job, but because he didn't go to college or anything like that. But he's at Baker Hughes right now, running.
Oh,
I
okay.
told him, I says, I will hurt you if you screw this job up. I said, you
Yeah,
learn
I don't.
everything you can. You can take that
Uh-huh.
with you anywhere.
That's right. That's right. I'm looking for uh there's Marcel's comment about her excitement this weekend.
Almost took it
He
off with a
nearly
tree
took
trimmer.
his finger off with a tree trimmer. Good times. It's his middle finger, and they
That's the one
pretty
he
much
uses
had
the most.
exact. Hey, you know, she
So
said
is
his.
he okay?
I think he's okay. They had to put some stitches in it, and he's fine now, I believe. Marcel, is he all right? I think he's all right.
Does that mean he gets to stay home every day for a couple of months now?
Grumpus, hush your mouth. What you trying to do to her? I almost took my middle finger off with a mandolin. Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah. I don't even
Oh,
have one of those things. They scare me to death.
I don't have one either.
I mean, my knives are razor sharp, but those mandolins, I see them using those. I think there's
Woo!
no way.
And it wouldn't take but a second to lose your whole, first knuckles.
Well, you'd probably hit it 3 times before you realize
Yeah,
you'd done
before
it.
you even realize it's.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the truth. Um, Grumpus, keep the stream going. I'll be right back.
All
Okay?
right.
I'm just going to run to the ladies' room, y'all. I'll be right back.
Enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you.
So your middle finger has a flat spot. So you must have lopped it off pretty good there, Simon, if it didn't grow back. But yeah, I see people using those mandolins, and I'm thinking, man, that just makes my skin crawl when I see them working on those things. I mean, I can keep my knives razor sharp, and I can cut things pretty thin. But that mandolin, that's what I was thinking. 3 slices before you felt it. I mean, it looks like they do the job. But something about them, I don't know. So Marcel, did he just stitch the wound closed, or did he lose a piece of finger? Or? Was it like a chainsaw or some lopping shears? What kind of tool was it? I mean, I'm contemplating getting a meat slicer, but I don't know. I kind of enjoy using my knives,
Yeah.
and but the meat slicer would be nice. I like where you can get that really, really thin roast beef and really
Yes.
thin ham and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, are you thinking about getting the kind like a deli has where you push it through like
Yeah.
this?
Yeah,
Or okay.
I just don't know if I would use it that much.
Yeah. I probably would not. Well, I don't know. I'll tell you when I would use it. Anytime I make a roast, usually about at least once every 2 weeks, maybe once a week. I love them. I
Yep.
like to make pot roast, Mississippi roast, any kind of roast.
Yep.
And anytime we have leftover, I would love to pull that thing out and slice it real thin for sandwiches and things like that. I love an open faced sandwich with mashed potatoes and
Yep.
toast and turkey or roast beef and then gravy. Oh my gosh, that's a comfort food for me. My
Yeah,
grandma used to make them for me.
that's why I was looking at a meat slicer. But
Yeah.
I can cut them pretty thin with my knives.
I'm
But
sure
I
you
can't get them
can.
that. I can't get them that thin without them tearing apart.
Right, right. Look, I wanted
I
to
mean,
show you before we get to. I got a little mini haul today. It came today. I got some Pro Mix garden soil for my garden because
yeah, Vicky went out and bought dirt today.
I'm gonna grow me some beets. So a friend of mine told me how I need to do it. I need to get garden soil that does not have any sticks and wood chips in it. And I need as much perlite as there is soil, half and half. And then I need a real evenly NPK needs to be 8, 10, 10, 10, whatever.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what I bought all the stuff. But then also there was some yarn on sale, and I don't remember if I told you about.
You can't grow beets in yarn. Well, maybe you can.
I don't know if you remember or not, but I showed you a red baby blanket that I made that I hated because the yarn felt plasticky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hated it. Well, I went berserk and I bought this. Isn't that gorgeous? It's all 100% cotton, and it's goes from this really deep red here, and then it fades into this.
Oh, okay. I see now.
Yeah, there's different shades of red in here, 3 different shades, and I'm very excited about this. I think I'm trying to decide, so I need some help from my audience. If you were it's a Christmas baby, that's why I'm doing red. So I got this with the dark and the light, and then the mother of all balls of yarn, at least Christmas yarn. This is called Muffin Magic Drops.
Is that metallic?
Yes, look at that. Look at that. And then it gets the red in the center.
I mean, that's pretty and all, but you think the other babies would make fun of him?
Well, it's not going to be a boy. See, that's
Oh,
the problem
okay.
I'm running into is, do I just make it like this so that it's good for a boy or a girl?
Yeah.
Of course, King Charles, he wears lots of shiny stuff.
Who?
Oh. Point taken. Point taken. But then there's this. And so if I decide not to use this, I won't use this for the baby. That's ridiculous. I just thought it would be so pretty and Christmassy.
Well, it is.
And
it really is.
So what I'll do is I'll make a table runner out of this for my other daughter. Or maybe
That'd look nice. That'd be pretty fancy for a table.
Wouldn't it? Yeah. And she just got a brand new table, and I think she'll like that. I'm making a Halloween table runner for the oldest one. And, the demanding one is going to want Christmas. The one that threatened me and all that. She ain't never going to forgive me. You know what? It's time for some Grumpus water.
Hey, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Clink.
I'm showing off my Grumpus cup. Isn't that gorgeous, y'all? I love it. Marcel, I'm so sad, but I have to tell you that my dog, or not my dog, one of my new cats knocked over your wine glass that you sent me, and it bit the dust. It was not me. I was not drunk. I had no fireball at all.
Do we need a moment of silence?
We need a moment of silence for. Well, that's what I wrote back to Marcel on her Facebook post when she was showing her husband, getting his finger taken care of. I said, thank goodness we don't have to have a finger funeral tomorrow. Did you ever see the movie Fried Green Tomatoes?
Yes.
When the little boy lost his arm, train cut it off, and
Yep.
they had a funeral for the arm. I thought that was pretty freaking funny. I love that part. In fact, I just saw that movie again recently. You're coughing an awful lot. What is it, allergies?
Out there sucking in all that hot air all day and
Yep.
probably not staying hydrated enough.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things that the doctor said about Murphy and his migraines. He said, is he drinking enough water? And I said, well, I buy it for him to drink, and I have to buy it every 2 weeks. So
I have drank more water in the last probably 2 months than I have in the last 5 years.
No kidding.
I hardly ever drink water.
Well, that's because you've been out there killing yourself trying to get that thing put together.
But I'll drink iced tea, coffee,
right?
Different things like that. But
sure.
Lemonade.
Yeah.
But I hardly ever just drink plain water.
You kidding?
And I have just been chugging it in the last 5-6 weeks.
When you need it, your body will tell you, hey, you need some water, and it'll make you crave it, I think. Because I know that I don't drink a lot of water either, Grumpus. I drink water in my tea. Because, that's what tea is, just basically brown water with some sugar in it.
I'm with you, Dwayne. I like well water, too.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
I like that irony.
Colin said drinking water is the key. Avoid kidney stones. Well, and there's that, too.
There's always that.
I've, thankfully, knock on wood, I've never had a kidney stone.
I have, and they ain't no fun.
I have watched that movie in forever. They got it for free on YouTube movies or whatever. So that's why I watched it. It was free. And I also watched one today. What was the name of that stinking movie? Old age has set in. I lost it.
I'll watch a movie and thoroughly enjoy it. And Vicky asked me 2 or 3 days later to start talking about it. I don't have a clue what she's talking about. I said, I just watch them for, the escape for that 90 minutes for 2 hours.
And then you forget it.
I don't memorize them. I don't reflect on them. I don't relate to them.
Oh.
But it makes it nice. I can rewatch a movie, a year later, and it's like I've never seen it.
Like, the movie was called, Al Pacino was in it. It was called Scent of a Woman. I love that movie. I've always loved that movie. It came out 20 years ago, maybe more than that, closer to 30 years ago. But I absolutely love that. He's a blind man, and he comes across this young man, and they travel around together, and it's just a really fun, feel-good kind of movie.
Okay.
But Al Pacino, at the end, he's always doing his speeches, whatever. Well, he did a speech in that one. If you haven't seen it, you should probably watch it. It's not a...
I don't recall seeing it.
Well, if you haven't, it's a great movie. It's about a boy who's going to a private school, and he got in some trouble, and they're going to be doing a committee to decide what to do with him for getting in trouble, basically. So Al Pacino goes to his defense at the end of the movie, and I think it's phenomenal. But it's a good movie all around. It's not mostly about that. It's mostly about just them traveling around and making friends with each other. Yeah.
Yeah, Marcel, I was just looking for something different tonight. Is my background too distracting?
No, not at all. I don't think it is. I like looking at it.
Okay.
It reminds me of a lava lamp, kind of. It's very relaxing. Where'd you find that background?
This is a YouTube.
Is it?
Let's see. I'll go back. Left screen. So it's just YouTube running.
Huh. Okay. I've got to I got to do a little more educating myself when it comes to... Today, I was going to do the dark mode on my StreamYard.
Uh-huh.
And I know there's a place where you can go to do that. I just can't figure out where it is.
I'm running dark mode now.
Are you? How'd you
Yeah.
get on dark mode?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. Let's see. Extensions. Okay, this is a plug-in for Chrome.
Oh.
It's called Dark Reader.
Oh, okay.
And it just automatically runs whenever I run StreamYard.
Okay.
So I can turn it. Well, let me change. I'll show you what it looks like. Center screen. Okay, so up at the top, I can go regular mode or dark mode.
Okay.
And you got an on and off switch.
Huh.
It's called Dark Reader. And
Okay.
It's just a plug-in for Chrome. It's free.
Okay.
In fact, I forget I have it most of the time.
Well, I like it. And today I was trying to find a way to make my stream so that it's just subscribers only. And you have to be subscribed for like 5 minutes before you can join the chat, because that cuts down on a lot of the BS you get in chats, or
Yeah.
the ugly comments and stuff. And
Yeah. Did you
I mean,
figure it out?
yeah, I finally figured it out, but it
Is
took
it
me
a
good.
setting? Is it a setting in StreamYard?
No, it's a setting in YouTube Studio.
Okay.
Under the when you click on your video, you'll go to customization, and that's where you find it.
Okay. Okay.
Which is cool, It's just it took me a while to find that. I clicked on every tab there was, and I couldn't find a thing. And then I just went to a website. I Googled how to do blah, blah, blah. And hey, Duval. Wait a minute. Where is she?
I didn't see her pop in.
No? Colin was typed something about Duval. No, I guess not. Oh, well. Sorry, Colin, what are you talking about, Duval? Or Duval? Like Shelley Duvall? But anyhow, I tell you what, it was a crazy week this week. Last night, Murphy went to, we had storms yesterday and all day today, really, off and on. And so last night, they only took the pep band with them to the football game. And the pep band is basically all your percussion, battery. The battery part of percussion, which is your cymbals, your drums, and that's it. And then they bring the brass instruments, and they don't do their show. They just sit in the stands and get rained on. So he ended up going last night because he's part of Battery, and they lost. I knew it was too good to last. They won the game last week. Oh, I didn't tell you. We won our first game last week. It was the first time we had won that particular game since 2017. And I'm telling you, we were happy.
You're on a streak.
Oh, we were so happy. So then we went to pick Murphy up from the school last night, and we found out that they lost the game. I said, well, I guess winning streak's over before it even got started. Because, wow, y'all slapped that. Thumbs up if you... Oh, thank you, Grumpus. Thank you. Robert Duvall. Okay, Robert Duvall was his dad's favorite actor. Okay, that makes sense. I remember hearing when John Wayne died on the radio. I don't remember that. I remember John Wayne being alive, but I don't remember when he passed. The Redskins tomorrow at Tampa Bay. I hope Tampa Bay slaughters them. I used to live in Virginia, and I was a Jaguar fan because my hometown is Jacksonville, Florida. And them Redskin fans, they were kind of annoying up there in Virginia. I'm not saying you are, Colin. I'm just saying. Down in Chesapeake, they were real annoying. So, but that's all just fun and games there. Oh, football rivalries. But I don't even like Tampa Bay, to be honest with you. But if they're playing somebody I don't like, I'd rather them win than the other ones. I think this yarn I'm working with tonight has wool in it because my fingers feel so dry. It's got to have wool in it. That's the only thing that makes my fingers feel like this. If I use cotton or acrylic or anything, it's perfectly no. But that wool sliding through your fingers will just.
It's kind of like fiberglass, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I do love Virginia. I do, Colin. I love Virginia. I miss Virginia so much sometimes. I don't miss the cost of living, but I miss just about everything else about it. You go outside in Virginia in the middle of the summertime and it's like, well, yeah, it's hot, but I can live with this. It's not that kind of heat that makes you feel like your soul's being taken out of your body. And in the cold it lasts longer, but it doesn't really get any colder than we get down here. It just lasts a little longer. That's it. So the weather's beautiful, and they have actual 4 seasons. And fall up there is my absolute favorite.
So is the winter? It's a little drier though, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the winter.
Now, when I first moved up there, I worked at this mortgage company. I gotta find my charger, y'all. Give me a sec. I worked at a mortgage company, and I was outside one day having lunch in the little outdoor area that they had. They had tables set up, covered area, and this woman's out there. Oh my God, it's so hot and muggy today. And I looked at her, and I looked at my phone and the weather. I said, it's only 60% humidity. Well, it's not that hot, really. Trust me. But I know it all depends on what you get used to.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was out on the deck. I think it was Wednesday night, and I want to say it was cooling off, but it was still 92.
Sure, but that's cooling off.
But if it just sweltering, and I checked to see what the humidity was. It's 89%.
Oh gosh. Oh. Well, and down here, even if it's 80 degrees outside, if that humidity is 80-90%,
oh, it's unbearable.
It's going to feel terribly hot. I don't know what we got today. What do we got? Long Beach weather.
I mean, humidity wasn't as high today.
No, I'm looking at 75 degrees and 66% humidity.
So that's what I have right now, 75.
Okay. That's a nice evening.
Like I said, it's supposed to get down 68 tonight.
Oh, wait. I lied. It gave me Long Beach, California. That happens to me every time I type that in there. Long Beach is 77 degrees and 84% humidity. That's not as nice.
It's supposed to be 68 tonight and the highest 87 tomorrow.
We're supposed to be 68 tonight, and
that's going to be a good day. And then 64 Sunday night.
What?
That's what I'm looking at on my phone.
No, our Sunday night's going to be 72 and 87 is the high for tomorrow. Partly cloudy. And then we have rain from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We will definitely have rain Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because it's over 70% chance.
Yeah,
but now
we're showing
Monday
rain
is
next
48.
week.
Monday's 48%. We might or might not get it. Probably not. But I'll tell you this, I do miss Virginia. I wish I could live there part-time and here part-time. Maybe one day I can. It's doubtful, though. Colin said, it's nice to be on chat tonight. I'm sick of dealing with the yellow jackets and bald-faced hornets. Are you talking about people, Colin?
No, he's a exterminator.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, look, I was a little confused. There's some people that are yellow jackets.
Those
and
are high
bald-faced
school
hornets.
teams.
Right? I get it. You're an exterminator. You know what? I bet you do. Hey, what do you use to get rid of yellow jackets? Just curious. I ordered some new garden beds this week, and they should be here Tuesday. I've got, I found a sale on Amazon, 4 by 2 foot beds that are 17 inches tall. And they wanted $39.99 a piece for them. They're metal.
Oh, okay.
And so I bought 4 of them. And then earlier last week, I bought 2 silver colored metal ones, and they were a little more expensive, but I had some fetch points. And so I had $70 worth. So basically I spent $60 on $68.
Oh, okay.
$68 on 2 garden beds that are coming probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. So I've got 6 coming, and I'm just going to keep buying those till I can't buy no more too. Because I can't use wood anymore. The termites have destroyed my garden. And yeah, it's really disappointing.
Well, the metal ones will probably last you, what, 5-6 years before they rust?
Yeah. Well, it's galvanized, so I don't know. And even if they rust, I don't care that much.
As long as it holds the dirt?
If it rusts through, I'll care.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if it just gets a little rust on it, I don't care.
I hear you. It adds character.
Yes. But I guess there's a chance that galvanized will rust.
It'll rust eventually.
Yeah. But yeah, if I get 5 or 6 years out of it, that'll be fine with me.
I had a 6 foot galvanized stock tank, like they put out in the fields for cattle.
Yes. Yes.
It was 2 foot high sides. I put it a foot in the ground, had a foot out.
Yeah.
And that was in the ground probably 10 years before it started leaking.
No kidding.
The part, of course, the part that was underground.
Sure.
But I only expected to use it maybe 2 or 3 years. It was temporary.
And it was 6 by 2 or 8 by 2?
It's 6 foot.
6
6 foot or 6 foot diameter.
And what'd you use that for?
For koi.
Okay. And that worked out all right? How many did you put in there?
Oh gosh, I probably had a couple dozen.
Oh wow, okay.
And some water lilies.
Yeah.
The water lilies would completely cover the water, and those leaves would push. The stems grow.
Yes.
Your leaves come out one size, but the stems keep growing.
Right.
It pushed the leaves right. It pushed the leaves right out of that tank, and they'd be hanging off the sides.
Oh my goodness. I wanted to get one of those to put koi in, but I didn't know if it was deep enough.
Oh yeah.
It's plenty deep enough.
Plenty deep enough.
And really, I wonder, you think I could keep 3 in there permanently, or would I have to get something bigger eventually?
3 koi? Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You're talking to the king of overpopulating.
Well, and that's what I was thinking when I saw that gentleman's koi ponds in the backyard there.
Yeah.
At the Chinese restaurant was, oh my God, what's he going to do with all these? Because they're going to get too big. But if I could have Poppy build me one that's 10 feet long by 30 inches across.
I mean, if you've got the filtration that can handle the load,
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
Okay.
I mean, years ago, when I was in the koi club and knew a lot of koi people, stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they overstock
Right.
because they're trying to find that diamond in the rough. They're
Yes,
buying them
yeah.
small. It's kind of hard to tell what they're going to do when they grow up.
They get them little peanuts and.
So, like I said, I've got 5, and 2 of them I'd like to find homes for.
Right.
And somebody like myself has been in it for a while. If I've got a koi 8 to 10, 12 inches long that I'm not real fond of, there's somebody new that's just starting
That would
that
love
just wants
to
a big
have that.
fish.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good way to cull your herd.
Right.
But you end up overpopulating that way a lot of times.
Right.
Which is fine if the filtration can handle it, but if your filtration can't,
then you're going to kill
craters,
a bunch of fish.
Then you've got a pretty severe emergency on your hand real quick if you've got too many fish in there.
Well, and that's why I was hesitant to do that with the stock tank, because I was afraid that I would.
Oh, but no, you could, a 6 foot round tank, 2 feet deep. I wouldn't be afraid to put 10 koi in there, 10 or 12.
To grow up?
Yeah.
And okay.
Like I said, as long as your filtration can handle it.
Unless I were to get a koi that was something I couldn't pass up, I really only want 3.
Yeah.
Now, if one were to come along and I would say, oh my gosh, this is the koi of all kois.
That's what happens.
For my budget.
That's what happens every time.
Well, I don't think it would happen here, though, because honestly, I've never seen a koi pond in this area. We have no koi outdoor garden shops with.
You don't have no water gardens anywhere around you?
Nope. Closest one is.
There's got to be something in Biloxi.
Mm-mm.
No kidding. Now, there's one I like to hit that's just leaving Houston. It's just outside. It's just east of San Antonio. I'll hit that one every once in a while. But we got one in Katy I go to all the time. I've known them people for, probably 30 years.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, where is this place? See, I think my guy that lives down that runs the restaurant. See, that's in Upland, California. That's not up my alley. He says he gets his on eBay.
Probably.
And I'm like, but so if this man who is a koi lover, who is actually Asian, has to order them on eBay, good and well that he would rather go to a garden and look at what, the
I would
selection.
like to hand select mine.
Right. And I would too, but there's just no place that I know.
But there's a lot of places online that you can buy koi, individual kois. Yeah. And a lot of them have, little starter packs.
Yes, I've seen those too.
You can buy a bag of 100 for $39.95 or something like that.
Right.
They're just, they're maybe 2 inches long.
Yes. And half of them have. What do you do with fish? I don't know if you've ever had this problem before, but when you order a fish, if you ever ordered fish, and they come in and they've got crooked backs, what do you do with those?
That's just a defect. There's nothing you can do with them. That's why you want to pick them out on your own.
That's right. Okay.
Somebody sent you some trash.
Yeah.
You should complain about it.
Well, I would, if that's what happened. I've never gotten it.
But when I'm picking out koi, I'm looking at the shape. I'm looking at how they swim. See if their fins are tore up or not. Make sure the backs are straight.
Right.
But that's why they cost so much. Because as somebody else is putting in the time growing it, and they may have started with 5,000 fish,
Right.
And then they call them after a couple of months. And then they call those after a couple of months. By the
Right.
time they weed through to find all the good stuff, that's why it costs so much. Because you got all this personalized handling of all of it.
Yes. Yes.
So, buying a bag of 100 or 200 small ones and throwing them out in a big pond, as long as you got some place to get rid of some of them, because they don't care if there's 100 to the bag, they're still going to get a foot long.
A foot. Right. Right.
And that's a lot of food, and that really crowds them. It encourages disease and that kind of stuff.
And probably fin nipping and all that too.
So, I mean, generally, if you keep them fed good, I probably overfeed my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Always have. But these animals are lazy. Turtles lazy. The other fish are lazy. They're not going to chase nothing as long as food's falling down out of the sky.
Out of the sky. Yeah. 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 Well, I'm almost done with my hair.
Oh, I know what I meant to tell you. The hummingbirds
Yeah.
are just really working my feeders.
Really? Well, it is season for them to go flying back.
I've got 4 or 5 of them. We watched them all day for the last couple of weeks. They've been really working the feeders hard.
They're not fighting, are they?
Yeah, they kind of chase each other off, but I saw 2 on one feeder today and 1 on another feeder at the same time.
Huh.
But they're getting ready to head south.
Yes, they are. Somebody just posted in our community Facebook thing today. Has anybody seen hummingbirds yet?
I've got
and there
them
were
all.
a couple piping up. I love hummingbirds. Oh,
I've got them everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't have any feeders out. Not this year. I had 2 out last year.
Now I've got my security camera in the back,
Mm-hmm.
and it's on the corner of the greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a hummingbird feeder hung about 2 foot from that camera.
So you can watch them on your security camera.
And I'll pull that camera up during the day while I'm at work.
Yeah.
And just put it up in the corner of my monitor and let all the other windows go around it, and I can watch that thing all day long, and they just working the crap out of it.
I'll be darned. Okay, I'm still going to be here, but I'm turning my camera off for a minute.
Okay.
So, but that's a great idea.
We still know you're picking your nose.
You know I am. It's dry in this house, man. It's kind of warm actually in my house tonight. I don't know why. Normally Wesley has it set on meat locker.
I was just thinking my room's a little warm too, and I know it's the same temperature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I know if I go back there right now and look at the thermostat, it'll say 73. Promise. But
Mine's on 70.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
but when I pull the green screen down, that cuts the room in half, and I've got a vent on the back side of the green screen, so I'm missing that.
Yes. Is there such a thing as a fan that doesn't make a lot of noise that you could maybe get to circulate some of that air?
Probably. I mean, I can feel air moving.
Oh, okay.
But this room only had 1 vent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bedroom. I've got all my computers running, the servers running, all that kind of stuff. It all puts off heat.
That's right.
And when I just had the new ductwork put in, last summer, I had them run an extra duct into this room, plus increase the size on both of them. So I can keep it pretty tolerable in here.
Right.
But some of these live streams that drag on, it get a little warm in here sometimes.
Right, I bet it does. Yeah. Well, and from you just coming from outside and.
Well, yeah, and I hadn't showered yet or anything like that, so I'm probably pretty cruddy and feeling the heat.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Vicki today. I think we're going to go to Rockport.
Oh.
Weekend after next for the Hummingbird Festival.
Oh, that'll be so much fun, Grumpus.
So we talked about today, and I don't know if I can get a hotel or not. It's kind of late to be trying to do that.
Right. How far is Rockport from you?
About 3 hours.
Okay.
It's just a bridge away from Corpus Christi.
Okay.
I know
So it's
Marcel
south.
knows where Rockport is.
I bet she does. Marcel, I sent you a link if you want to come up here and hang out with us. It's in the Instagram. I didn't send it to Facebook. You want me to send it to Facebook?
So anyway, she wanted me to come in and make a reservation. I told her we'd talk about it again tomorrow. Make sure she hadn't changed her mind.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because whatever I jump on, I'm sure I'm going to have a no refund policy.
Oh yeah, you know it will be.
Getting this close to it.
Well, my daughter, I don't know if I told you this or not, but Erica and Rachel, my two oldest kids, Erica took Rachel to Disney for her birthday. And they spent 4 days down there. They had a wonderful time. And Rachel really, really was appreciative. I mean, she really enjoyed the trip, blah, blah, blah. And she's a Disney girl anyway. Well, she called me yesterday and told me, "You're not going to believe this. Guess where I'm going?" I said, "I don't know. You're going to have to tell me." So she said her company that she works with is taking a trip to Universal Studios
Oh.
at the end of the month. And she's really excited. She has been an ET girl ever since she was 4.
Has the company footing the bill?
Yeah, they're buying the tickets and they're buying
Nice.
they're not buying the plane tickets or they're paying for the hotel and the tickets to get into the thing. And
Nice.
the hotel includes breakfast and lunch is included. So it's really nice. And
That's still a good package.
Well, a week ago, she called me and told me that her husband had just booked them a cruise to the Bahamas in November. So here she is living the life because she made the right decisions in her lifetime. I told her the other day, I said, "Boy, I sure wished I'd have made the same decisions you did. I'd be living the life too." But she, God love her. She has so much anxiety when it comes to flying. And it's not the flight that scares her or causes her anxiety. She doesn't mind getting on an airplane. It's all the crap you got to go to before the flight.
Yeah, that's pretty.
The security and the lines and the IDs and just everything. She hates it.
Yeah, it's pretty
She said, "Thanks
nerve-wracking."
for the link. I'm going to have to go to bed soon. Just chilling." Okay, Marcel. She says she'll try to save some energy for next weekend. That sounds good.
Well, maybe your family won't lop anything off before now and then.
No kidding. Between now and then. Oh my. Yeah, I'm glad we haven't had any emergency room visits with Wesley because Wesley's real good at injuring himself, whether it's at work or at home or anywhere. He starts a project, he's going to get hurt. I never will forget one time he come in the house and he had been sawing something with a handsaw.
Yeah.
And he come in the house and he goes, "Hey, Charlotte, take a look at my thumb. You think I need stitches in this?" Grumpus, he had gone through the top of his entire thumbnail.
Mm.
And it didn't need stitches, but it was all jagged and the nail was just tore up in there.
Oh yeah.
And we had to get him
horrible.
we had to take him to the emergency room just to get the debris picked out of his nail so they could bandage it up. And it was a mess.
Good night, Colin.
Good night, Colin. Take care. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us tonight. But yeah, it's stupid stuff like that happens to him. But I think he's just about got the Mitsubishi Eclipse working. He had to change out, what's that thing called? Hang on, a valve. He had to replace a valve.
Oh.
And it was cracked on the inside. There was a chip taken out of it. And the car wasn't running well, blah, blah, blah.
So he's had that motor completely tore apart then, just about.
Yep. Yes, he has. But you know what? It took longer for the parts to come in than it took for him to put it back together.
I mean, that's overhead valve if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
Or overhead cam, I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So he
that's
had
what
to
it
take the
is.
whole top motor off.
Yep. Well, then he put the gaskets and all back on and got it sealed up good and found a leak. So he had to, something to do with the bolts being too short or something or too long. So he had to rig up some washers to go on the outside of the bolt. So it was too long to make the bolt shorter on the inside so that it wouldn't throw oil or something like that.
It wouldn't
And then
bottom out, yeah.
yeah. So we ended up having to take the heads off again and fix it and then put new head gaskets back on it.
Now, wasn't that the same bolts that came out?
Yes. Don't ask me.
Hmm.
Don't ask me. That's what I said too. But
Well,
and it
maybe
might
the
have been
head,
leaking before that. Who knows?
maybe the head gasket's a different thickness.
And that could be too. That could be too. So basically, he got that fixed, and now it's running like it's supposed to.
Nice.
But I'm really glad because he was driving the truck back and forth to work, and it's been costing us about $60 to $80 a week in gas. And now with the Mitsubishi, that'll cut in half. The gas bill.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a nice little car. The Eclipse was such a cool car in the 90s, really nice looking car back in the day. Well, you know what's funny, Marcel, is that is the car that my daughter wanted her whole life. From the time she was old enough to talk. My first car is going to be a Mitsubishi Eclipse. Well, when she turned 16 and graduated high school, because she graduated a year early, her dad bought her one for graduation. And she kept it for years. And then she traded it in. Boyfriend left her. So she was having some boyfriend, woe is me problems and ended up trading it in for a convertible Mustang.
She showed him, didn't she?
Yeah, right? So she ended up paying it off and sold it and got herself a Mazda, because by then she had a little baby, She got her a Mazda, it's an SUV of some sort, kind of like a little Escape.
Yeah, that's what I drive is a CX-5.
That's what she's got, yeah, 5.
I really like it.
She loves it. She loves that little car.
It don't have any power, but it don't drink a lot of gas either.
Right. And so she got that, and that's her daily driver. But about 3 years ago, she's driving around town, and she saw a car with a for sale sign on it. And she come over here, and she said, Mom, it's the same year. It's the same everything, same color, same motor. She said, it's an Eclipse for sale, and he only wants $1,000 for it. So between the two of us, we scraped up enough money for her to go down there and pay him $1,000 for that 99 Eclipse. And she drove it for about a month, and then it sat in her driveway for 2 years. So she asked Wesley, did he want to buy it? And he said, yeah, I'll buy it. So she sold it to him for $1,000. But that's just about the same way we got the truck, too. We bought the truck from her. Paid her $2,500 for it because this is funny. So she gets this truck, and every time she gets in it, it won't start. So Wesley ended up replacing the entire top end of the engine, rebuilding it, put it back together, and she got in it to go somewhere, and it wouldn't start, and she was mad as a hornet. She said, come and get this truck. And Wesley said, well, how much do you want for it? She said, $2,500. So we paid her $2,500, brought it home. He fixed a sensor or something on it, and it started right up. It's been running great ever since. She was so mad she could have chewed glass.
Well,
but
there comes a point in time where you're just done.
Yeah, well, that's where she was. She was done. And her misfortune was our benefit,
When I had a little GMC Sonoma pickup.
Yeah.
I bought it new in 95.
Right.
And I drove it all the way up until about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
In fact, I had it 22 years, I think.
Wow.
And I did all the maintenance on it and everything, but I
Yeah.
was on the third motor.
No kidding.
It had 230,000 miles on it
On the third one.
on the truck itself.
Oh, on the truck total. Okay.
So I had the third motor in it, and I was on the way home, and I had Corey with me,
Yeah.
sitting at a stoplight about a mile from the house, and it just coughed and stopped.
Oh, wow.
And I just had it in the shop. I just paid $1,100 for AC work.
Ouch.
I mean, less than 10 days.
Yeah.
And that thing stopped, and me and him pushed it off to the side and up into a gas station.
Yeah.
A couple other guys helped us push it. And Corey said, well, what do you think it is? I says, I don't know, and I don't care. I'm done. I'm not putting another dime in this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to find me something else to drive. I ended up giving it. I called my nephew, and because his father-in-law, he's got some acreage somewhere, and he's always working on old cars. I said, if he wants it, tell him come get it. He said,
Awesome.
what do you want for it? And I said, I want him to come get it.
I want it out of my driveway.
I mean, it had good tires. It had nice aluminum wheels on it. But I told Corey, I said, there comes a time when I've spent
Get
my
your belly
last
full.
dollar. I don't care if I could have fixed that for $20. I was not going to put
We're
another
not
$20
gonna
in
do
that
it.
truck.
Well, there you go. I told Wesley the other day, our truck ride's kind of rough, and he thinks it needs new leaf springs or something, blah, blah, blah. I said, can you just break down and buy me a stinking Lincoln Town car?
Probably needs shocks.
It probably does need shocks. It needs shocks, and it needs to be lowered a little bit because, Grumpus, I'm almost 60 years old, and I'm still climbing 2 feet to get into the truck. And it's hard sometimes. And I told him, I said, I don't mind you having a truck, but it's time for us to get a car that I don't have to hurt myself every time I get in it.
I feel you. We've got one of these, what the hell is it we've got? An Isuzu commercial pickup. Or a commercial, I forget how many tons it is. But it's a good size truck.
Yeah.
And I've got to climb up into that thing. You can't get in it without a grab rail.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's the way I feel. In the truck, I got to grab
And I get
things.
so tired of trying to haul my ass up into that truck.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's probably way taller than the one I have to climb into.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a commercial truck.
Yeah. And that's at work.
Yeah, that's at work.
Yeah.
We use it for little local deliveries.
We're going to, I think next year, we're going to start looking for something. I don't need a brand new car or anything like.
Looky here.
Oh my goodness! Look, it's Patrick. Hey, Patrick. Thank you, Patrick.
What am I, chopped liver?
Yeah, Grumpus has got a hat. Patrick, if you want to, I'll send you a link on Instagram so you can come up here with us. I won't be offended if you say no, but we sure would like to talk to you. But yeah, hang on one second. I'm sorry. I can't do 2 things at once. I'm not a multitasker at all. I wish I were. You know what car I want? If I win the lottery tomorrow, I would go buy a Lincoln Nautilus. Yep, that's what I would get. But that's probably not going to happen.
I would probably get me a GMC pickup, fully loaded.
Yeah? Well, I'm tired of pickups.
I don't want anything too flashy.
I'm tired
People
of
be hitting me up for money.
Right. Got to go out for a while soon. Okay. That's fine. And what's with all the green smoke, Grumpus? Oh, it's changed colors now.
And it's funny, my hat is Pennzoil yellow.
Is it?
It's Pennzoil yellow, but apparently
It
the
looks
green
great.
screen setting has pulled the green part out
Yeah.
and made it almost translucent.
Yeah, well, that too, because there's fire in it or
Yep.
smoke or whatever that is.
But it's
I see
odd
it
that it
now.
would pull the green out of the yellow.
I see the Pennzoil logo now. Yeah, that's my dream car, Grumpus. Lincoln Nautilus. But you know they're going to quit making them this year.
I mean, if I really wanted to be an asshole, I'd just get me a McLaren.
Oh, yeah, you're talking Poppy's language. You know what though? Honestly, 2 years ago, me and Wesley had to go. We were taking Murphy to his first neurology appointment for his headaches. And we were on our way back, and there was this beautiful. I don't usually love black cars because I live in the South, and we all know what that means. So we're driving back, and we were at a stoplight in front of the Island View Casino, and I looked over, and there was this beautiful black car. It had the nicest shape, and I said to Poppy, because normally I can name a car,
Yeah.
no matter where we're at. And I looked at him, and I was looking at the little emblem on the back of the trunk, and I didn't recognize it. And I said, honey, what kind of car is that? And he looks at me and he goes, it's a Maserati.
Yeah.
And
Got that little crown.
Because the whole time I'm thinking, oh my gosh, maybe we could get that for our next car. That would be so nice. And
Well, you could.
he says Maserati, and I said, okay, never mind. Well, come to find out, we could probably grab a fairly, maybe 5-year-old Maserati for about 25 grand.
Yeah.
Which today is not that bad for that kind of car. But he said they're a lot like Jaguars. They really like to be driven hard.
Like to be driven hard and spend a lot of time in the shop.
Right. That's what he said.
I mean, Lamborghinis don't do anything for me, and
No,
a lot of
me
these
neither.
other sports cars don't. But I really like the lines of the McLarens.
McLarens are nice cars. I don't want another sports car. If Wesley wants to drive one, that's fine with me.
It'd be totally. I mean, other than just driving it around. I mean, you couldn't go to the grocery store in it, or
No, you couldn't. So anyhow, I want a luxury comfort type car that will heat my behind when I'm cold, and have lumbar support, and maybe a pillow in the back so I can sleep in the back in the headrest so I can sleep comfortably. And I just want to be comfortable. I'm tired of being rattled to death in that truck. And now, mind you, it doesn't drive bad, but it sure doesn't drive like the newer trucks.
yeah, and that's why I say it probably needs shocks.
Yeah. So, Patrick, where are you going this evening? You going out with a lady friend, maybe? I hope so. My grandmother always wanted her whole life a silver Lincoln Continental. I'll never forget it.
The big boats.
Yeah, but that's what she wanted. And but you know what she did drive? 1972 Cutlass Supreme. That's fancy.
Yep, that ain't too shabby.
I love a Cutlass Supreme. Now, back in the day, that was the car to have. Well, I don't know if it was or not, but I loved them.
Now, about 10, 12 years ago, I was going up to Indianapolis, and I needed to do some work on the car and everything like that. So I told Vicky, I said, "Why don't we just rent a car?"
Oh
Instead
yeah,
of dropping a whole bunch of coin into this car right before we go on vacation.
right.
So I rented just a mid-sized car at the airport. I think it was Avis. Well, when I got there to get the car, they didn't have any.
Oh no.
They said, "Well, we can upgrade you into a luxury car."
Okay.
The next step up for the same price. I said, okay. So they had a Cadillac, and I went. So they said, okay, well, we can do that. And the guy came back in. He says, all we have is SUVs, Cadillac SUVs.
Okay.
I said, well, that's not what I wanted.
Oh.
And they ended up putting me in a Lincoln. So I drove that thing all the way up to Indianapolis and back. And I mean, it rode really nice.
Yes, they do.
Had the dual climate control and all that kind of fancy stuff. I mean, I drove it for a week before I figured out what all the buttons were. So Vicky said, wouldn't you like to have one of these? I said, no, I can check this off my list. I always wondered how they drove. I don't need one now.
Well, we test drove one of those Lincoln Nautiluses about a year ago. And
going to the butcher.
Probably, I don't know. He's got to get to the butcher before he closes.
Ah.
What are you going to get at the butcher? Or is that for a video or something? Or are you just eating you got to get a bunch of ribeyes or something for your carnivore? Man, I haven't had any rib. We ate the last of those ribeyes about 2 weeks ago, and I've been craving one ever since.
I've got some in the freezer.
Yeah.
I just never. I never remember they're in there.
Right.
Except, then it's too late to thaw them out in time for me to cook them. Oh, he's going after lamb chops.
Oh, yum.
Love me some lamb chops.
Oh, gosh, that sounds wonderful. What you going to do with them, Patrick? Tell us all the gory details. So we can sit here and salivate.
Yeah. I did burgers tonight.
Come to think of it, I might have Poppy take me over to the rack house and get me some lamb chops tomorrow.
I think you should.
We haven't been out to eat in probably a month. About 3 weeks. So I'll leave my son here with some hamburger buns and
you're going to air fry them.
Oh.
Never heard of an air fried lamb chop.
Air fry. So
I mean, I guess the same as putting them in an oven, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but it's just got that air circulating around it. So good. So, yeah, how long does it take to air fry lamb chops? You have to do anything else special to them?
And are they individual chops, or do you do the rack?
The rack, right. That's a good question, Grumpus. Thank you. So are you using your OBS through StreamYard?
Yeah.
Okay. Same as an oven. I'll be darned.
Yeah, this is all OBS. Allows me to do this stuff, Charlotte.
Okay. And is that a program you have to download?
Yeah, but it's free.
Okay.
I mean, it looks very intimidating and very scary at first.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. As soon as you wrap your head on what it's doing, it's very simple.
Okay. Well, if I ever get me a normal computer, like a PC instead of a Chromebook, I'll download it and you can walk me through it.
Yeah, I can walk it through. I mean, you set up a scene, and then you got sources in the scene.
Mm-hmm. Well, now it might take about 3 tries. Just so you know.
Well, I mean, I avoided it for the longest time. Because it looked just too complicated.
Yeah, it does.
But I'm watching other people's streams and stuff, and I'm thinking, man, these guys are idiots. If they can do it, surely I can figure it out.
Right.
I'm watching some of these people. They're not real swoof, and they're using OBS. Why aren't I?
Why ain't I doing it? No kidding. He said individual chops.
Okay.
All right, then.
I bet those cook up pretty fast then.
I bet they do. Maybe 10, 12 minutes.
I don't use an air fryer enough to even have a good judgment of that.
I'm thinking about that. That's what I'm thinking. Really? Do you hear her?
I hear something.
That's her. She's whining to get out of her crate. You got to go outside? We go outside. That's a maybe.
Let me out, Mom. Let me out.
It might or might not be. I know you got one. She tried to back up on me and go back in her crate as soon as she saw it was wet outside. She
So
does not.
Patrick, is those Australian chops or is those New Zealand?
Oh, that's a good question too.
We get a lot of New Zealand lamb up here.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. When I go to Sam's Club, that's all you can find.
Yeah.
I might have to go there too.
I'm getting Aussie chops. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting a hankering to get my pit fired up. I haven't started that thing in probably
What do you?
2 months.
Yeah.
That's the longest I've ever gone.
Well, what do you think you want to cook on it?
I don't know. I'm just getting antsy to get a fire going.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's that time of year now.
And I built this cover. It's got a metal roof and everything on it.
Yeah.
But it kind of encroached on my pit a little bit. I'm about 2 inches off the stack.
Oh.
So I'm going to have to
Rearrange?
until I move it. I'm going to have to temporarily figure out a way to contain that heat and smoke, get it up past the roof.
Right. Huh.
I told Vicky, she said, well, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to get me an aluminum bucket. I'm going to cut the bottom out of it and just squish it and throw it off the top of those. She says, you redneck.
So what? If it works, it works.
She said, I can't believe you do so. I said, well, I'll paint it black.
If it works, do it. I don't even know how long this is. Good grief. Not long enough. There's what I've done so far.
You've done all that tonight?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's simple.
Well, if you could do that, you can figure out OBS.
You think?
I
I don't
think
know.
so.
I don't know. This is super simple. I mean, a trained monkey can do this. I think. I'm using just about the most basic stitch, and it's the same stitch all the way around. So it's one of those where I don't have to count or think to do it. Now, I showed my blanket off. My daughter said this looks like a watermelon. It's supposed to be a Christmas blanket.
Well, I wouldn't have thought it till you said watermelon.
Until I said
Now it's all I can see.
For every row, I don't know if you can see this or not, but
Yeah.
every row is different on this. From here all the way to here, every row is different. And I quit working on it the other day because it started puckering on me. And I don't like it when that happens. That means that when it starts to pucker, it means that your stitches are not, there's too few stitches for as many holes that are around.
Oh.
However, that can be worked out later because on the next row, they might add the stitches back.
We'll see you, Patrick.
Good night, Patrick. I hope everything goes beautifully for you. But I just got irritated seeing it pucker like that and not knowing how to fix it. And now I'm ready to get back to it tomorrow because I know that they will end up fixing it later down in the rows. It's just, it's annoying to me. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to this stuff. I don't know if you can see this or not, but there ain't one stitch that's bigger than the other.
Looks good.
Thank you. And that's the way I do all of my work. I do not like it when things don't work out the way they're supposed to.
Charlotte, I got to go refill my water. I'll be right
Go
back.
right ahead. Go right ahead. I guess I'll put this down for a minute so I can look at my folks. How many folks we still got in here? Marcel, and I bet you Dwayne is still hanging out about somewhere. And Colin probably is hanging out. I don't know who else. I'm not on my YouTube. Maybe I should be. Watch my own stream. So, Marcel, how are things going for you other than your terrible day at the emergency room? Is everything all right? We've had a very busy week around here, but now we are at the weekend and I'm feeling a lot better about it. I had to call my son's doctor about his migraines. Hang on one sec. And get some new medications started for him because they're just out of control. He has already missed 6 days of school, plus we've had to go pick him up twice since school started on the 29th of July. So there's that. So I just thought that I would call his doctor and tell him what's going on. We had him at the emergency room Thursday because of it, because of a migraine. It wouldn't quit. We gave him his medicine. We gave it to him twice. It still didn't quit. And it scared the living daylights out of me. Because seems to me that if you take the medicine that's supposed to get rid of it, the stuff ought to work, right? Well, it didn't. So we got some phone calls made, and within 2 days, they had sent us two new prescriptions. And I'm supposed to keep a headache log for till the end of the month. And if the preventative that they increase the dosage on is not effective, then we'll just have to switch into a new preventative. But now that we have all that taken care of, I feel a lot better about the situation. So, shoot. Marcel, there was a shawl that I was working on a couple of weeks ago, and you saw it, but it wasn't finished yet. And as soon as Grumpus gets back, I'm going to go in the living room and grab it and show it to you, because I think you'll get a kick out of it. It's not a shawl. It's more of a wrap. It's a rectangle size. I call shawls the ones that are more triangle shaped. And I really don't care for those. You've been busy. So much driving. Yes. Hey, how's your son enjoying his job? Is that what I bet that's a lot of your driving is taking him back and forth to work, isn't it? Or is he driving himself now? I'm sorry. I get so distracted by this stuff. Get in the zone and I forget everything else that's going on around me, especially when it gets quiet, you know. But I'll tell you what, if it hadn't have been for crocheting and learning that when I was just a little tiny girl, I might have had to be on medication myself. It really does help me relax. And yeah, I'm glad we've got a plan for him too, because I'm telling you what, it is so hard to watch your child suffer in agony. And it truly is agony. And know darn good and well that you can't help him. You can't fix it. You can't make it any better. Nothing you can do. And that's the hardest part of all of it. And I know that a migraine, I've never heard nobody dying from a migraine, or, you know, it's a headache. It's a terrible, terrible headache. But the point of the matter is, I'm his mom and I should be able to fix it and make him feel better. And I can't. And I know that. Grumpus, I'm going to go get a wrap that I made a couple weeks ago so I can show it to Marcel.
Sure.
All right, I'll be right back.
Marcel, is this your son?
He's loving it. He got his first paycheck Friday. That's
Is that her
great.
son?
Yeah, her son got a
Oh, okay.
job. Okay, Marcel, get ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Woo!
Look at that fancy stitching.
There she is. I'll give you a close up here in a sec when I can get closer to the table. There. This was the most annoying shawl I have ever made in my whole life. And I'll show you why. You see that very last row that has the little bumps on it right here where my finger is?
Yeah, I see that.
That took 50% of the time of making this shawl. Making those itty bitty little bumps every third row. It's a pain in, I would get through it, and then I'd take an hour to make that one row. And then I'd speed through the next one, another hour. I wanted to throw that in the garbage so many times, I can't even tell you. We'll let him test for his license after he's 18. That is really smart, Marcel. If I could drive and we didn't have a different situation in our home, I would have done the same thing with Violet. She was not ready to drive when she was 16 or 17 or 18 for that matter. She's just now got to where she doesn't scare me in the car. What kind of job is it that he's got? I forget, Marcel. I want to say it's a restaurant of some sort. Yeah, Violet almost got her little behind fired last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Getting a little comfortable, is she?
I think so.
That's usually what happens. You get that 90 days behind you and you think you're invincible.
Right. Well, my gosh, it's almost been 2 years that she's been working here now, and she got complacent, and the last 2 complaints that came on had her name on it.
Uh-oh.
And he's like, I can't have you doing that, you know. And if it hadn't been for her sister, she'd have lost her job that day. But her sister fought for her job for her. And it all worked itself out. But he told her, you got one more chance. That's it. Don't mess it up. So she's basically working on borrowed time now. But you know, you can't be mean to customers when you're in that situation. Hey, Megan, how are you? It's good to see you.
Well, the customer isn't always right, but you can't tell them.
That's right. And that's the thing, you know. You just can't. And
there's been so many times I want to tell a customer, just take a flying hike, and just, she can't do it.
Marcel said, that's gorgeous, send it here. I can model it for you. Marcel, if you want it, I'll send it to you. Because I can't, I'm mad with it. And I don't want it.
Hello, Megan. How you doing?
It'd probably fit you, too, because you're kind of short like me. A little dazed, just got some bad news, but USC is winning. Well, good and bad. I'm sorry that you got bad news, but I'm glad USC is winning for you. USC, that isn't that soccer? Or the Aussie version
University
of
of Southern California?
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
Heck if I know. I don't know.
I'm guessing.
I don't know either. He's working at a restaurant. Of course, I understand that. Yeah. I wouldn't tell it out loud either. I don't think I've ever told nobody where Violet works.
So Marcel, is he learning to cook or is he washing dishes? Trojans. Grumpus got it.
Okay, good. College football. Okay. All right then. I'm a ding-a-ling. I don't know a lot about that. I don't know
I
a
don't
lot
either.
about
I
college
just guessed.
football. Well, I know the teams around the South, but I don't know the ones out west. 34-0 against Utah State.
That's
My
not
God,
even
they
a.
chewed them up and spit them out.
That's not even a game.
I know, right? What were they doing? Just prancing on the field? Good grief. That is insane. Our boys lost. The score last night was 9-21. I was mortified for them. But it's what it is. You can't do nothing about it.
No.
And I truly thought they were going to do a lot better this year, but it's not working out that way. What you drinking tonight, Grumpus? Just water?
I'm just drinking water tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a beer. I had a beer earlier with my supper.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at the size. Look at the size of this cup.
Woo! Heck yeah.
I've drank about 5 of these today.
You beat LSU 27-20 last week. Well, good, because you know what? I live right next to LSU, and we don't like them. We're Mississippi State or Ole Miss. Well, now they're rivals, but I don't have any kids at State or Ole Miss, so it ain't no skin off my behind. I'm not going to have any kids at Ole Miss or State. My daughter's going probably to the University of Southern Mississippi. But I'll tell you this.
I don't doubt that, Marcel. But what are they letting him do in the kitchen? Are they letting him cook?
Yeah, what are they letting him do? I mean, is he busboying or waitressing or being serving? Excuse me.
My first job was at a bakery. So if people thought I was a baker, I just let them believe it. But I was really just scrubbing pots and pans.
What's that called? An underwater ceramic technician?
Yeah, I guess. I washed about 300 full-size sheet pans every night.
Oh, gosh.
I hated it.
Yeah, but you like bringing home that paycheck, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. That was back. I was making $1.65 an hour.
See there? That was big money back then.
Getting about 18 hours a week.
All right. So that's what.
I could barely pay for gas in a motorcycle after they took all the taxes and everything
Right.
out. Yeah, that first paycheck was an eye-opener.
I bet it was. See, now Murphy was getting paid under the table before he got fired.
Yeah.
So he got to keep all of his. Thank you so much, Megan. I made it myself. Thank you. I do like a bucket. You know what I'm going to do next? My next project, after I finish all this stuff up, I want a bucket hat that has ear flaps on it.
A bucket
Because
hat.
I don't look good in a beanie. I look a little bit butchy. And I feel like this makes it more, a bucket hat is more feminine on my head, okay? But in the wintertime, I don't like to have my ears exposed because when the wind blows in them, I get awful earaches. And it takes hours for the ache to go away when I get cold wind in my ears.
Yeah.
So I thought a bucket hat with ear flaps, a bucket flap hat or something, I don't know. Oh, and she loves your background, Grumpus.
Yeah, thank you, Megan.
It is a nice background, isn't it? I sure wish I knew how to do it. He's going to teach me one day.
It's a little different than anything I usually do.
It is, because
I
usually
usually try to keep it pretty subdued.
Yeah, you got the tropics behind
I was in a
you.
hurry last night, or a hurry tonight to try to get something up and running. In fact, I can probably hang till maybe another 26 minutes.
Yeah.
I still got
Okay.
tools to put away out back. I forgot I got music playing.
Oh Lord. Well, I'm ended at 1 o'clock. Okay.
Well, I'm not. I'm gonna tell you in it. I just remembered I still got music out there playing.
Right. Well, I don't. You know what? I think the days of the 5 hour live streams are over.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep it reeled in around two and a
Yeah,
half if we're on a roll.
because I get too tired and then I sleep all day the next day, and it messes with me really bad. So I think that I'm going to. This hat's going to be too bad.
But that's
Here's
good,
call.
Marcel.
What did she say?
They're training him on the grill.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Marcel. Everybody can be a hat person. You got to find the right hat for your head. The right style, you know. So, and I always like to have a brim. I like feminine looking hats. I don't like a sock hat. That's what I feel like a beanie is a sock hat. I'll show you. Um, let's do the purple one.
Yeah, I
This is
don't
a
wear
big.
hats very often unless I'm out. Like today was really windy, and I just don't like my hair blowing around in my face while I'm trying to work.
All right, see, that's my purple beanie that I made. It's kind of slouchy in the back, and I don't care for these. I think this one actually doesn't look very masculine on me, but um, let's see. This one does, maybe. See that? I don't like that. I don't think there's anything feminine about it, and I like looking like a girly girl. So there you have it. Actually, I have on a dress today. Can you believe it?
Me too.
You do. I bet you'd be a lot cooler if you did have a dress on
That's
out
what
there.
I need me a kilt.
Yes, you do.
I need a kilt from all my ladder work.
Have what's his name? Patrick send you one. He's an Irish guy, isn't he? Scottish.
Colin.
Oh, we could get Colin to get us one too. Yeah. So, man, I tell you what, can you imagine how cool that?
I can't imagine.
I enjoy wearing dresses in the summertime for that reason, because it's so much cooler. You get a lot of breeze going on underneath there,
Yeah, I'll
and
bet.
a lot of airflow, basically. I can't stand to wear jeans in the summertime, and I won't. I will not.
See, I wear jeans all the time. Vicky keeps saying, "You need to put on shorts. Put on shorts." I'm already dressed. I'm not changing clothes.
Right, right. Um, but now in the wintertime, I don't even like to wear jeans in the wintertime. I like to wear sweatpants,
That's pretty
baggy
much all I
sweatpants.
wear is jeans.
That sounds like Poppy. Poppy. Well, ever since he had his hip replacement, he can wear jeans, but they have to be cargo type jeans, because if he puts his wallet in his back pocket and he sits on it, it makes him unlevel back there,
Yeah.
and it bothers his hip. So he wears cargo jeans or cargo pants so he can put his wallet in his leg instead of his booty.
Well, when I moved to Texas, I started putting my wallet in my front pocket
Oh, okay.
because I was doing deliveries all day,
Yeah.
and it just leave a bruise on your ass
Yeah.
sitting on a wallet all day.
Well, it really bothers him, so he won't wear them. And I guess I don't want 8 inches is not long enough. Shoot. Oh God.
Ooh,
My
Marcel
next
getting
video.
Marcel trying to troll for some subscribers.
Still nowadays they make nightgowns to look like dresses anyway.
I told Vicky I could probably get more subs if I had more cleavage on my channel. She said, "Shut up, put your shirt back on."
I was cooking at midnight and didn't care. I don't blame you a bit. Shoot, I sit here in my bathrobe half the time on my live streams. Now, I usually have clothes on underneath. I mean, in fact, about 100% of the time I do. Another ad is playing?
See, I haven't seen an ad play all night
That is so weird.
because I've generally got the stream running off to
Yeah.
the side.
Well, they don't think you got any money, Grumpus.
Well, they're right.
They're right. They are correct. What are you doing, son?
Trying to be quiet.
What are you doing? What do you need?
Food.
Food. He needs food. Look here. I'm so proud of my boy. He's 5'5" now. So that means how many inches have you grown over the summer? 3?
Yeah.
3 inches over the summer.
Wow.
And he's over 100 pounds finally. He's 102 point what? 4?
Yeah.
102.4. I am tickled. Do you know how long he was 98 pounds? Probably the past 3 years. He's been 98 pounds.
I think I was just barely 100 pounds when I started high school.
Well, he'll be 16 in December, and that's where he's at. And I'm really hoping that this year he's kind of a little bit of a late bloomer. So I'm hoping he gets his final growth spurt sometime in this 10th grade year. And when I say late bloomer, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just he's
No.
not.
I was always the shortest kid in my class.
Were you?
Always.
Well, how tall are you now?
5'7".
Okay.
So I'm not tall.
My dad's 5'7". In fact, most of the men in my family are about 5'7". I've got, if my son Logan is 5'5", I'd be surprised. He swears he's 5'7", but I don't believe it.
But I think I was 135 pounds at 45 years old.
No kid.
Well, I mean, I told you I've always worked outside and or inside metal buildings.
Right.
And not only will the heat knock the weight off of you, I just don't feel like eating.
You can't eat when
It just
it's
makes
hot
you
like
sick.
that. Yeah.
And I got me a job downtown Houston, downtown Pennzoil, and got used to air conditioning, and all of our work was done inside in air conditioning, and we got breaks and all that
And
kind
you
of
gained
stuff.
45 pounds.
I gained like 26, 27 pounds there in about 2 years.
Oh, wow. Wow. He finally has hit some bit of a growth spurt. I hope it continues. I would really like to see him hit at least 5'7".
I think Charlotte fertilized him.
I might have. I put some of that rabbit poop on him. I've been putting it in his food. He just don't know it.
Look who else showed up.
Hey, DJ.
What's going on, DJ?
You were the second shortest person in the school. DJ, is that because of your chair or because?
Yeah, you need bigger wheels, son.
Right? They should have got you some fat tires. You know what, Marcel? I didn't either.
He needs like some 21-inch rims or something so he can get some height.
Yeah, right. You know, Marcel, when I was 16, I was in that bad car accident and broke my leg up. And
30-inch lift kit.
when I started my senior year of high school, I was 89 pounds. And when I met Wesley, I was 35 and weighed 102. But, you know, old age hits. My
Sands of time shift.
Everything else does too.
That gravity kicks in's rough.
Woo! Woo! I tell people all the time, I'm like, see this right here? That used to be my face. Used to be my face. That is the one thing I hate about aging is this right here. My neck is falling down and it's just puddling right here. And it just drives me nuts. You were always sitting down, standing, he's 5'7". Okay. I don't know what the average height for men is in the U.S. I have no clue.
5'9".
Is it 5'9"? Did you step on a piece of glass?
No.
Okay. Let me tell you something. My 2 new kitty cats are getting real brave. You know, at first they were baby kitties and they couldn't really reach a lot of stuff. So they couldn't do a lot of damage. In the last 2 days, stop laughing, you little turd. Birdie broke my favorite drinking glass, the blue ball jar glasses.
Yeah.
Broke them, 2 of them. And then Dingling over here, my son, broke a bowl in the sink. A Corelle bowl in the sink.
He didn't want to clean up the mess.
Apparently not. Apparently not. And he's over there giggling like a girl. You should see him. He can't even stand up straight to make his stinking peanut butter sandwich. He's laughing so hard.
It's cookie butter.
Oh, is it? Oh, he is eating toast with cookie butter on it. You know
Cookie
that.
butter?
What is it called? Murphy?
Biscoff cookie.
Biscoff cookie spread.
I don't know what that is.
You've never had that?
No.
I gotta send you some of that. Oh my lord!
It's like a biscotti?
It's like a Biscoff cookie.
Yeah, biscotti.
No, it's not like biscotti because there's different flavors of biscotti.
Okay, never mind.
Biscoff.
Yeah.
Google that. Biscoff cookie.
They're served on plain.
They are so good. So good. I've been working out a lot. I haven't lost much weight, but things are moving back to where they belong. Well, Marcel, you're doing something that I hadn't been able to do yet. That's for sure. What is it, son?
Nothing. But I was gonna say the bulb broke in such a stupid way. I dropped it so slowly.
Yeah,
It just shattered.
it just shattered. Did you get all the glass out of the sink, son?
Yeah. I watched this.
All right, thank you. Now, get out of here.
Biscoff cookies.
Yeah,
Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's like a Nutella type thing?
sort
butter?
of, yes. And you can get it in creamy or crunchy. I like the crunchy because it has
Okay.
cookie pieces in it. Oh gosh, it is so delicious. I like to eat it on bagels, but it's full of sugar. I mean, full. The shortest person in my graduating class was height challenge girl, if you know what I mean. I do. She was a little person. She was a little person. Oh my. What time is it? Oh. Yeah.
Cookie butter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have to, if I see that in the store, I'll have to pick some up and try it.
You should, because it is absolutely delicious. It's a little
I'd
treat.
never heard of that before.
Well, shoot, it took me till I was 45 to know what it was.
But I don't get out much.
My parents never bought stuff like that. We got peanut butter and jelly. That was it.
That's the way it was around my. In fact, our jelly and peanut butter came in the same
came in the
jar.
same thing. You swirled up together.
Yeah, and we only got that because Mom needed the glasses.
Right. I didn't even know what Nutella was until I was in my 40s because we didn't have that either.
Yeah, I've never had it. I've never tried it.
Have you ever had one of those gold wrapped Rocher candies with the hazelnut?
Yeah.
That's what Nutella tastes like. The middle of that.
Okay.
And it's delicious. What you do is you take a bagel and you stick some cream cheese on it, and then you spread some of that Nutella over the top. Oh my God! Shut the front
Yes,
door.
I'm not a bagel fan.
Oh, you're not? Well,
No,
whatever.
my wife likes them, but I don't care for them.
Well, do you like croissant?
I'll do croissants or toast or something like that.
Toast would be great. I would rather have my cream cheese on a croissant or a bagel, though. Cream cheese on toast just sounds kind of gross to me. Oh, you know what I did with the kids one time? I took tortillas, flour tortillas, and I
Uh-huh.
rubbed cream cheese and Nutella on that and rolled it up and cut it into little pieces like pinwheels.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
loved that crap. They loved it. And
Wow.
what a cheap snack, you know?
It looked fancy.
Yeah, yeah. Grandbabies love that. I have got to go tinkle. I'll be back.
All right.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I swear.
Well, how many we got left in the chat? Looks like 6. DJ, Marcel. Who else is in here? Megan, you still here? Well, Marcel, let me show you my project I've been working on. I finally got my light. This is a cover on my deck. I finally got my lights. Finally got my lights working today. That's
Yeah,
what
that
I've been
looks
working on
great.
for about the last 4 weekends.
That was a lot of work, wasn't it? Jeez.
There must have been a gazillion pieces to that thing. And I got to say, it was a good kit.
Yeah. Good instructions.
The instructions suck.
Oh.
There was only pictures. Only pictures, no directions, and a couple of those was wrong.
Right.
So if I hadn't looked far enough down a few pages ahead, I would have had to undo a whole lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cedar. Everything's pre-cut, pre-drilled. Pieces are marked. And then the roof is all metal. And every piece of metal, right down to the tiniest little spacers, was in its own individual plastic bag.
No
sealed
kidding.
up. That stuff didn't have a scratch on it. I was very impressed at how they put it together.
Yeah, that is impressive because usually you'll get stuff with dings and dents and paint
I
chips.
thought I'd run out of parts. I figured I'd be short something.
Right.
But no, it was a good
well,
kit.
Good. And you got that where? Lowe's?
I got that at Lowe's.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to tell you
It's a
something.
killer deal.
You know, that little Honda generator you were telling me about is a little bit out of my price range right now. Unless
Yeah, they're pricey.
But, and I don't know what you know about these, the somewhat equivalent of that is at
Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harbor Freight, the Predator.
Yep.
And I was wondering if you think that might be a comparable.
I don't know anybody the specs look good.
Uh-huh.
I don't know anybody that has one. What I was going for was gas mileage.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I was buying. That's what I was paying for. I was only interested in how long it'd go on a gallon of gas.
Right.
Because when you're in survival mode and there's no power,
right.
if
need
you
to
can
conserve
find
as
the
much
gas, you don't know that you can get it out of the ground.
Right.
Because if they don't have power either, you're screwed.
Well, and the one I'm looking at is a dual
Thank you,
fuel.
Marcel. But yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Well,
Because I'd considering getting a second one to run a few other things. And I looked at that one.
Okay.
But I talked myself out of it. I'd be right back into
Well, and see, that's what I'm afraid of, Grumpus, because I am always looking for a better deal somewhere because I'm a cheapskate, right? But there's some things, and I know this up here, some things you don't compromise on. But then when I see a cheaper price, I get lured.
Well, I wasn't buying watts.
Uh-huh.
I was buying gas mileage.
You know what I'm buying? The main thing I want is the quiet.
Oh, these are very quiet. Hondas are really quiet.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got mine in the green. I put it in the greenhouse, and run a big heavy cord into the house.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you're trying to hear it, you really can't hear it running.
Uh-huh. Oh,
But I'm only interested in keeping refrigerators going and keeping my pump
and
running.
the only thing I'm interested in is my freezers and air conditioner. That's it. Well, and my pond pump. But
I mean,
don't
I got a little portable air conditioner this last time,
Yeah.
but I have to unplug everything else
Mm,
because the AC pulls everything that the generator can put out.
right. So, y'all, I was at Walmart the other day shopping for some groceries. And I don't usually buy snacks. I mean, not desserts, because I can make them, right?
Yeah.
But I don't make cheesecake. And for my final hoorah tonight, I'm going to taste test this great
Ooh, look
value
at you.
turtle cheesecake. It comes 2 in a box. Me and Poppy were going to share, but then my son found them and said, "Hey, Mom, who's that cheesecake for?" And I said, "Well, I forgot it was in there. It was for me and your daddy, but go on ahead and get a piece. I'll do the taste test on the channel tonight." But that's what it looks like. It don't look beautiful, but it's kind of smashed right here. That's not Walmart's fault. It's just a little smashed.
It looks pretty good from here.
It looks pretty enough, don't it? Now
I'd eat that.
well, we're about to find out if I'm going to eat it or not. The crust is not creamy. It's a little soggy, but that's okay too. It's been in the fridge. Yeah, you'd eat this.
I'd eat that.
That's good. For a quick little snack that you don't have to make yourself, this is delicious. It came completely like you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That's got like a chocolate cookie crust.
Mm-hmm. Chocolate cookie crust. It's called turtle cheesecake. So it's got caramel or caramel, however you want to say it, on the top of it. And they drizzled pecans and chocolate chips across the top.
I like it.
Yeah, this is good. I'm surprised, to be honest with you. I'm really surprised. All right. I don't think I could eat it. It's very rich. It's very rich. Wow. I'll be buying this again when I get a hankering for some cheesecake. They also have plain, and they have a strawberry swirl top.
I mean, some of that stuff, I mean, a lot of things you can make better at home, but all the efforts you got to go through sometimes is not that much better.
Exactly. I don't know.
I mean, for years I would make lasagna,
Mm-hmm.
and then I found what is it? Stouffer's.
Oh yeah, they got a good product.
Stouffer's got a good lasagna, and I'll make a really good meat sauce to put on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Can't hardly tell the difference, huh?
I mean, it's good enough for what it costs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't have to slave hours getting it done.
Exactly. And it's expensive to make lasagna too. That's not a cheap dish.
Oh, everything's expensive anymore. I went to Walmart the other night just to pick up half a gallon of milk, and I grabbed a couple other little things I needed, and I think it was $40-some, and I carried it out in 3 little bags.
Oh. Well.
There was a couple of guys had a table set up for, feeding one of these food bank things or whatever.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Trying to put the guilt trip on everybody, and
Right.
tried to talk to me on the way in the store, and I just kind of blew them off. So when I left the store, I'm already irritated because I got my 3 little bags, and
For $40.
they tried to hit me up again. And I told them, I said, I got to tell you, I said, it's all I can do to feed myself.
That's right.
I said, try your luck in November. We'll see how things are going.
Ooh. Ooh. No kidding.
He said, "Well, I guess I know who you're voting." I said, "Is somebody else running?"
Normally get too involved in politics anymore. I used to be a junkie.
Well, my wife is a junkie.
And
That's all she talks about. And I get so tired of hearing it.
oh, I bet. But I don't watch it on TV. Nothing. I don't care. If I want to know something, I'll read about it on Google or some website, but then I know I could just close my computer and walk away
Yeah,
if I get
yeah.
aggravated. Well, I'm very excited because I am going to watch the debate.
Oh, I got to watch that train wreck.
That's going to be
I won't be able to look away.
pure entertainment.
I will not be able to look away on that one.
Never. That's going to be, I might even record it for posterity.
I mean, I wouldn't have brought it up at the store, except I was already pissed off at how much I just spent on them little bags, and he trying to squeeze money out of me for somebody that is probably going in their pockets to start with.
Well, possibly.
You know, them poor people probably only get 30 cents out of every dollar you donate.
Right. Cherry cheesecake can't have strawberry. Can't have strawberry because I'm allergic. Oh, I see. You know, I had an aunt that was allergic to strawberries. Yeah. Oh, the no-bake cheesecake is good. The one you just add milk to and stir it up with a whip it up or whatever.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Well, we might. I'm not even going to say it. I'll say it when the season's over, okay? I'm going to keep y'all in suspense. But those storms that are out in the Atlantic right now look just about harmless, and they're not headed any direction. The one that's in the Gulf is headed to the Yucatan. I'm saying the next week looks good for us. That's what I'm saying. All of us. But anyhow, I'm going to get off of this computer tonight. Thank y'all for coming.
You wrapping it
Grumpus,
up?
as always, I appreciate you coming up on stream with me. Everybody else in the chat, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We've enjoyed it. And I am out of here.
Good to be
Good night,
had.
Grumpus.
We'll see everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you all next week.
And on that note, good night.
All right, good night, Charlotte.